Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's another weekend, and that means that I'm here. Rob Lock says it down there with an E. Thank you very much to Leslie, our producer, for doing that. And feel free to follow me, Rob Lock on TV. Rob Lock with an E on TV. All my social media. I love to read my twits and all of that kind of stuff. So now, tonight is all about luxury bedding. In fact, I'm going to make a bold statement right off the bat. You're about to witness the best bedding that money can buy. Now, that is my personal opinion. I do state that. Well, and the personal opinion of probably several 100,000 people, but they're not here to verify it. What I will say is we're going to make some very bold claims about this bedding tonight. If you've never seen or heard of mulberry silk and the duvets and the pillows and now the mattresses that come from the official mulberry silk company, you're in for a treat. Last duvet you'll probably ever need to buy, last pillow you'll ever probably need to buy, last mattress you'll probably ever need to buy, or at least for a very, very long time. A duvet with a 10-year guarantee, a 10-year guarantee, filled with AAA grade, the finest, literally the finest silk that money can buy, full strands, full length, full fat in your duvet, and we'll explain why that is such an incredible benefit sleeping under a natural fibre like silk. Best pillow I've ever had in my entire life. We are very confident that we are going to drastically improve the quality of your sleep tonight. And you know, they say if you buy cheap you pay twice. Well, how many pillows have you bought in a lifetime or so far, and how many more will you buy and continue to buy and throw away? Have you ever had a pillow that's truly satisfied you, that's truly been satisfying to sleep on? I bet you haven't. We'll get into that later in the show as well. Have you ever had a mattress where you've got springs sticking in your bum and divots, and you know, someone else gets into bed and you bounce up and down on the other side? Well, that's all a thing of the past, ladies and gentlemen. We have one of the best mattresses money can buy tonight, also from the Mulberry Silk Company. It's a night of silk and cotton, to be fair. And before we meet Ray, I just want to give you some pricing on these. Now, yes, you might immediately look at them and think, oh, they're a little higher than I would possibly normally pay for a duvet. We'll start with the duvet. But again, people have had their mulberry silk duvets, many people, for 20, even 30 plus years. What you buy tonight, you will be using for decades potentially. What you buy tonight may be for your kiddywinks. They'll be sleeping on when they're adults. So we have the single, I'm really sorry to say, we have sold out of the Super King. And the stock we have tonight is what is left. In fact, Ray will explain this when I introduce him in a minute, or you to him in a minute. We've had to, or he has had to redirect stock from other countries just to have enough on the show for tonight. So the next shipment's not coming till, I believe, mid to the end of May, so late May. Tonight is your chance. Please, the minute you know, the minute that light bulb goes on above your head, the minute that voice in your head says, quick, buy now, or the minute I say that, please do it, because otherwise you are in serious danger of missing out either on the single, which is normally 169. We have a special price of 139. That price hasn't gone up in 20-something years of this duvet being on TV. Delivery £4.95 on all items. That is capped, so you can buy multiple duvets, multiple pillows. You can load up your basket and only pay one P&P charge of £4.95. The double is normally £239. We've got it for £179. That's a £60 saving, and the King, £259, we've got it for £199, which is a £60 saving as well. And also, please remember, this is, as far as we know, the only duvet that carries the official Allergy UK certificate that it is effective against live dust mites. It has to be renewed every year. This is current. It's been renewed for decades by the Mulberry Silk Company. That's how high the quality of their manufacturing is. Now, aside from the fact you're going to get the benefits of silk, the Allergy UK certificate, and the comfort and everything else that comes with silk and the luxury duvets that you're buying tonight, you are getting really a level of luxury that is unsurpassed or unsurpassable, in my opinion. It's as good as it gets. It's a premium product for what I used to say, and I suppose technically, as I'm about to say it, still do say, it's champagne lifestyle for beer money. It really is. By the way, PayPal is also available tonight as well. So if you want to spread the cost, it will be available when you go to checkout. You can only do that online. You can spread the cost interest-free over 3 months if you wish to. Select that as your payment option. Go to Pay, or it will take you to PayPal's site to confirm your information, and there you will be approved. And once approved, the sale will go through, and this will be on its way to you. Can I just very quickly have a bit of a plea with you, actually? If you are one of the people, and there are thousands of you, who bought any of the mulberry silk items in the last show, which was, what, a couple of weeks ago that Ray and I did together, you'll have had your products by now. You'll have been sleeping under them or on them. And I would love you to just drop us a little email. Tell me, I did say last show, call me a liar if anything we say is not true. And if you... Did someone call me a liar? No, they said I wasn't a liar. So if you have tried this now, you're now in the mulberry silk family and are benefiting, please drop us a message, because we will read it out and it will hopefully help other people make the same great decision that you did. Anyway, here from the official Mulberry Silk Company, the official distributor of mulberry silk in the United Kingdom, the one and only Ray Kennedy. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. Good morning.
Good,
Rob.
good. Always good to have you here.
It's nice to be back in the studio here in London.
Yes.
It's a lovely city. I used to live here. I love this city. And as you know, when we were here a couple of weeks ago, we had a record, thankfully, we had a record-breaking show.
We did.
We sold out, in actual fact.
Yes.
And the only reason why we have this merchandise here tonight is that, fortunately, we have good friends in Germany, and we asked them if we could redirect some stock that was meant for them.
Yep.
We went through the tunnel, we picked it up, and we brought it back to London for sale tonight.
Thank goodness.
We are very limited in certain sizes, I must mention that. And any viewer who is considering buying one of these duvets tonight, you are buying from the official Mulberry Silk Company. Our head office is in Vancouver, and we distribute to different countries throughout the world. This duvet is something very, very special, Rob.
Yeah.
It's not an ordinary duvet.
No.
You can buy ordinary duvets in any shop in the United Kingdom. This is an extraordinary duvet. It's made up from two component parts, the top cover and the filling within the top cover. Now, the top cover is the finest cotton you could possibly imagine, 230 thread count. Anything over 180 is considered to be luxury.
It's Egyptian cotton, essentially.
Yes, so there's no problem whatsoever with the top cover. Now, the filling within the top cover is something really special.
Yes.
It is AAA grade mulberry silk. And what I'm going to say next, I would advise any viewer who's watching, for their own peace of mind, please check this on a computer. Go into Google or Wikipedia. Now remember, they're not trying to sell you a duvet. They're just answering questions.
They're facts.
Type in all about silk. And what they will tell you, within the silk industry, mulberry silk is the king of silks.
Yep.
And that's an interesting word, isn't it? King. There can only be one king. And within the bedding industry, mulberry is the king of silks.
Yes.
So you've got the best cotton you can imagine. You've got the best silk you can imagine. They've handed that to a company with a stellar reputation for quality. So it's no surprise that the end product is something as wonderful as this.
Yeah.
Sold with a 10-year warranty.
That's unheard of.
That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Now, 10 years is quite a long time. I must tell you, Rob, the duvets we have in my bed at home are 29 years old. Now, that's a long time. My wife washes them on average 2 or 3 times a year.
Sorry, washes them?
Washes them, yep.
Washes them?
A cold wash.
Wash your duvet?
30 degrees. Pop them in any regular, everyday, domestic washing machine.
7.5 kilo wash front load.
Yeah, 7.5 kilo. The largest one we make is a Super King, and that weighs 2.3 kilos.
Because, and let's make the point now, there are two things that are true of two things that I know. Number one is that everyone in Doctor Who who's ever walked inside the TARDIS always says it's bigger on the inside. It's bigger on the inside. And everyone who's ever picked up a mulberry silk duvet for the first time says, It's really thin. It's never going to keep
Yeah.
you warm.
Yeah.
But boy, are you right. But that means because it's lightweight, you can actually pack your Super King into a suitcase and take it with you. And I do. And it will fit into a regular
Rob,
washing machine.
as you know from previous shows we have done, we exhibit and have done for 65 years at every major exhibition in the United Kingdom. Every agricultural show, flower show, knitting show, exhibition. We have done that for 65 years. And for 35 of those years, we have sold silk duvets. Now, when people come up to one of our stands in an exhibition, every single person, they say, this is very thin. Will it keep me warm in the winter? And before I can answer, they then say, what TOG rating is it? Now, the answer to both of those questions is quite simple. There is no official TOG rating with silk. The reason being, silk is a low conductor of heat. It retains heat in a different fashion to say duck, goose feather, or the dreaded polyester. And the important thing to remember is it keeps you warm in the winter, really warm, and it keeps you cool in the summer. And people say to me, how is that possible?
How's that possible?
The honest answer is, Rob, only one person knows, Mother Nature.
She's not
No,
telling.
she's had the secret under lock and key for 5,000 years. This is an all-weather duvet. When you buy one of these, it's an investment. We estimate that when you buy one, it will last you the best part of your adult life. The reason being the quality of the cotton and the quality of the silk. Remember, silk is the second strongest natural fiber in the world. So when you buy it, you won't have to replace it in 6 or 7 or 8 years' time. It's an investment and it's going to last you a long time.
Ray, right from the bat, because if people are watching for the first time, and I left it, I think, too late last time to discuss this. Now, this is completely irrespective and separate from ShopOnTV. Your company, as a company, what do you say to anybody who, because we haven't even told the whole story yet, but as we do and people start to, because usually it builds and builds and then suddenly the penny drops and there's a mad rush.
Yeah.
What do you say to anybody within the next week, 2 weeks, 3, 4 weeks or so that isn't happy?
Well,
what guarantees do you
ShopOnTV give a guarantee that if the person doesn't like it, they'll refund the money. Now that guarantee, we give you a 28-day trial period.
Yes.
So take it and try it, sleep under it.
Yes.
And we will back that up.
Yep.
So if any customer buys any product, which we have an offer here this morning, if you buy it and have it delivered and sleep under it and you don't like it, we will refund your money with the same speed and the same civility that we take it from you. We know the quality of this product. We've been selling it for 35, 36 years. We know how many we get returned. It's virtually nothing. So we can give that type of guarantee, Rob.
Because the thing is that when people get these at home, and you may be skeptical, and that's good, because then you're just going to be really, really surprised when you actually find out what we're saying is true. It would be, to return it would be like saying, no, I don't want to keep enjoying a better night's sleep. I want to go back to having a worse night's sleep.
The other thing is important to point out, when a duvet is returned, we have to destroy it.
Sure.
We cannot resell it.
No.
And we cannot even give it to charity. They won't take it because it's been slept on or under, and it has to be destroyed.
Yes.
So it's in our interest to make a product which is exceptionally high quality, which we know is not going to be returned.
Yes.
And when we do live exhibitions, we go to the same exhibition year in, year out. And very often people walk past our stand and I'm sitting there or one of my sons are there and they just give you a little wave like this and they say, got one.
Yeah.
Had it 15 years, had it 10 years, had it 7 years, had it 20 years, give you the thumbs up and they give you a little wave and they walk on.
Yes.
And when you sell something that gives people that amount of satisfaction for that length of time, it's a very nice feeling, Rob. That's why I enjoy going to live exhibitions. It's wonderful.
Our CEO, as you know, was in earlier.
Yeah.
and we spoke during the week. He actually wanted to come on the air tonight and also give a personal testimonial, because I told him about Mulberry Silk ages ago. And what people always do with me is they come up to me after I've sat passionately extolling the virtues and my own personal experiences of having and owning Mulberry Silk bedding, and they always say to me, "Is it really that good?" I was like, "Yes! What do you think I was saying on the air?" And so he bought it because of my recommendation.
That's correct.
And he will. And do you know, one of the things, let's get into the nitty gritty, right? Because I want you to understand just how special this bedding is. With normal do we say man-made fibre these days? I don't know.
Polyester.
What is it? Hollow fibre, polyester.
Yeah, polyester, hollow fibre.
With artificial fillings and with feathers and pretty much anything else that's in any duvet or pillow, because this applies to the pillow as well. But the duvet specifically, your body generates heat. So it heats up to a nice temperature and lovely and toasty and warm. And then because the heat is trapped, it cannot escape. There is no escape valve for it, which such is the nature of those fillings. It gets too hot, and then it keeps getting hotter and hotter, and in the end you go, and you take the duvet off. And then, especially in the winter, if it's the dead of night, and the heating's not on, suddenly you're like, oh, it's starting to get up, and then you cover yourself up again. Now, every time that happens, it wakes you up. It disturbs your sleep. And this can happen several times a night. And this is my last bit of personal testimony, and then I'll go back to Ray. During the pandemic, and I tell this story all the time, Ray was very kind to provide when all of the hotels and motels had shut. And I was working in a studio in Peterborough. And so what they did is they put porta cabins, little personal porta cabins, into the car park that were about 6 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot. And they had a bed in it, a little bathroom type of thing at the back, which you could barely swing a cat in, and a little countertop and a microwave and a fridge, and that was about it. And that's where I lived, essentially. It was like being in prisoner cell block H. But I went in at 3 a.m. after an ITV show, and it was freezing cold. There was no heating in this thing whatsoever, and I had just a single Mulberry Silk duvet. And the first night Ray gave it to me, I was like, I know we say this on the air, but this is never gonna keep me warm. And I covered myself up, and it took probably about 5 minutes for my body temperature to fill the space, and I got to that perfect temperature, and I thought, it's going to get too hot. It's going to get too hot. Yeah, it's going to get too hot. It's going to get too hot. And it never did, ever. And the same happens because of the natural temperature regulation that silk offers you in the summer. You can put this duvet over you in the summer. You don't have to have a summer duvet and a winter duvet. And you put it on you, and it might be warm in your room, but some people still like to snuggle up. And you think, I'm going to get too hot, I'm going to get too... And then you never do.
Well, funny enough, Rob, this will surprise you. Fortunately, we are in a very fortunate position. I don't want to appear boastful when I say this, but we're in the position where we can sell more than we can make, because these are handmade. It takes time to make them. And the silk we demand, the quality of silk we demand, is in very short supply. And when that supply runs out, and it runs out constantly, we stop manufacturing.
Let's talk about the quality of silk,
right.
And then let's talk about dust mines.
Yeah, can I just mention this quickly?
Yeah.
That the important thing to remember is this, that with this particular type of silk in this duvet, how we get it is quite simple. We take the silkworm, we place it in a large metal tray, roughly the size of this bed. Now, we keep the tray containing the worm in a darkened room for 35, 36 days. And we feed the worm exclusively in mulberry leaves. Now, there's 3 different colors of mulberry leaves, red, black, and white. If you feed the worm in red and black, you get a very high quality mulberry silk.
Yep.
If you feed the worm in a white mulberry leaf, however, all of a sudden, you take a step up and you get the highest grade silk that you can possibly get.
There's literally no other higher grade of silk on the planet.
Triple A grade mulberry silk, considered by the silk industry to be the king of silks,
and that's
the best of the best, and that's what's inside.
And only what's in
that.
Any
now,
of these products.
I always tell people, whenever you buy any of our products, take the trouble to read the label.
Yes,
we have to put that on by law. And we have to tell you exactly what's inside the duvet. It is 100% AAA grade mulberry silk.
Yes.
The highest grade silk the silk industry know about. The best of the best.
Even
Nothing else.
if you're wondering what you're looking at here, every duvet has a little vanity window.
Yeah, you see it there.
It's only there. It serves no practical purpose except for you to be able to see the full strand silk. Now let's get into that. By the way, can I just say 10% of the which size? Oh my, 10% of the single and 10% of the king has already gone. We could sell out of everything tonight.
Yeah, we're short.
We have very limited stocks on everything. The minute you get the message, order it. You've got a money back guarantee. Raise, or I should say raise, not raise personal details, but the company's info is right here on the tag, and they will take care. If you're not happy, you will get your money back, no questions asked. It's the only thing we can't refund, obviously, is the postage and packing. So get yourself the duvets, get yourself the pillows. We don't have a lot of pillows, so once we start talking about the pillows, usually there's a mad rush for them.
Yeah.
Now, why?
Well,
why
what
is
happens,
this full?
Rob,
Yes,
is
yes.
to go back to where we were. After 35, 36 days, the cocoon they throw it into tepid water. Now all the silk floats off in one piece.
Yeah.
Right. Each strand of silk within this duvet is 1 mile to 1.5 miles long, unbroken in one piece.
Wow.
So what that means, they can stitch it all the way around the perimeter. Now that's done by hand.
Yep.
It takes a day to a day and a half. 2 skilled operators, a day to a day and a half to stitch it around the perimeter. Now it's anchored and it can't move.
And it's something like 15 miles of silk.
Yes, it's 15 miles of silk on average inside.
Unbroken.
Each duvet, unbroken. Now once it's anchored around the edge, they pull it towards themselves and they put these box cassettes in. Now that means 2 things. You are now sleeping under a complete covering of the best silk in the world that cannot shift and cannot move. So when you sleep under it, it's a cocoon fiber.
Yeah.
It gently drapes itself around you and it stays there. It doesn't walk away in the middle of the night.
No.
You don't waken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, one leg dangling out the bed, backside sticking out the duvet. Duvet off, duvet on, duvet off, duvet on. Not with silk. It cocoons you. It's not heavy. It's not oppressive. It's light. It's flexible.
Well, it's designed to keep the
silkworm,
silkworms
And
protected.
the other thing is you get no cold spots at all.
No.
And when you wash it a cold wash, 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry. When you wash it, because it's anchored, because it's long fiber, and because it's stitched all the way through, it cannot move.
Now, actually,
So it
we had
doesn't clump up.
an email from a viewer. Was it Bob? Bob, who wanted he got his on the last show.
Right.
He's very, very, very pleased with
Thank
the
you.
duvet. He knows he can wash it. I know you just mentioned tumble dry. What are the tumble dry instructions? Low heat tumble dry?
Low heat, yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, Bob, and I'm really pleased that you're happy with your purchase. Thank you for taking the trouble to call in.
Indeed.
You'll have many happy, contented night's sleep under your duvet, I can assure you. Thank you once again.
Let's, if we may, so you go 2 days per duvet to make, 2 people.
Day and a half.
Every day and a half.
Yeah.
Full strands of, literally from top to bottom, coiling around to give you complete coverage. That's quite unusual in terms of quality, especially for this price, because there aren't many people out there. It's probably on one hand you could count companies that would do that kind of quality.
Yeah.
And you're talking about probably what, £400 or £500 for a duvet.
Well, it's interesting you mention that. I mentioned this in the last show, and I'll mention it again. I live in Scotland. I live in Glasgow. There's 2 main shopping centres in Glasgow, right? The people in STV know exactly where they are.
Yep.
And there's a shop within one of those shopping centres that's renowned for quality. It's a company that trades internationally, and they are a top company.
Yeah.
And you cannot fault them in any way. Now, just before Christmas, my son Martin, who's here with me tonight, he went in to buy his mother a dressing gown for Christmas. And when he was in there, he spotted they were selling silk duvets. So naturally, being our business, he was nosy and he went across to look at them and examine them, the quality, etc. And he read the label on them. And here's the interesting thing. They were charging for a Super King duvet, sorry, I tell a lie, for a king duvet, £512.
Wow.
And here's the interesting thing, Roy. When Martin read the label, inside the duvet, there was only
Sorry, no carry on.
there was only 12% silk.
12%.
12%. What they do, these companies, and they're allowed to do this, it's terrible, really. They get cotton, polyester, they polish it so it looks like silk, right? And to the untrained eye, you can't tell the difference. And what they do, they get a small quantity of silk, they add that to a large quantity of man-made fibers, so they get a higher profit. And they put a silk label on it.
That's so
why
misleading,
when
isn't
I'm
it?
on TV, I'm constantly stressing, whatever you buy, duvets, and especially silk pillow slips. We'll talk about them later.
Yes.
Check the label.
Is it?
Very much.
I was going to say it's quite rare, isn't it, Ray, that if you buy a silk duvet, that it actually has 100% silk.
Pure triple A.
Not only is it
mulberry
100%,
silk.
but even if you do find silk duvets that have 100% silk filling, well, what quality of silk? Not AAA grade, that's for sure. And even if it was, then it's usually little cuts, little pieces.
Yeah, little snips. And a lot of them, they fill them up with Tussa silk, which is a wild silk that would grow in a forest. This is cultivated silk.
Yeah.
We have our own silk farms where we farm our own silk.
Yeah.
The whole process, our whole way of selling this is a little bit different to most retail outlet people. Let me explain what I mean. People sometimes say to me when I'm at a live exhibition, they'll come up and they say, hold on a minute, you're telling me this is the best duvet I could possibly buy. Why is the price so low? Because you are offering this will shock the viewers. You are, Shop on TV are offering this duvet this morning, at a price that is slightly less than we were charging for it when we first launched it on TV 22 years ago.
Amazing.
So the price has actually not only been held, but it's come
gone down.
Now, the reason how that happens is this. Normally, when you have a product such as this, when you're a manufacturer, when it's ready to be sold to the public, you hand it to a distributor who then sells it to a wholesaler, who then sells it to the shopkeeper or the retailer. Now, each one of those people, quite rightly, add on a margin of profit for themselves. They've done nothing wrong. They've done the work. They're entitled to make a profit. What we do, our head office is in Vancouver. We appoint one person in every country, nobody else. We don't supply shops. That person has one partner. I'm the person for the United Kingdom, and I only have one other person I supply, Shop on TV, nobody else.
We should say, because we keep going on about mulberry silk, and we've got Serenity silk on the screen. So explain to us,
yeah,
it is a mulberry silk duvet, but Serenity
everything
silk
we make is manufactured by the official mulberry silk company. If you read the label, it will tell you that. Serenity silk is a brand name we put on extra packaging.
Yeah.
Well, just the packaging's different for Shop on TV.
Yeah.
And coming back to what I was saying, by cutting out the distributor, the wholesaler, and the shopkeeper, we can offer it to the public at a really good price. You know, Shop on TV have buyers who are very professional, and they're tough, and they negotiate very low prices. They buy this at an advantageous price, and then they pass the saving on to the viewer. You're actually getting a chance to buy something special at a very low price just remember, with a 10-year warranty and an unconditional, no messing around, money-back guarantee. Don't like it? Don't keep it. send it back, and we'll refund your money with a smile on our face.
Yes. Just make sure you contact the information that's on the tag.
Yeah.
Again, this is the Mulberry Silk guarantee, and this is over and above anything that we do, or in addition to anything that we do here for you to protect your finances at ShopOnTV. All the info's on the actual tag. You see, it's all there, website and all. What I wanted to say, Ray, is we're going to introduce the pillow in a moment.
Okay.
Because essentially everything we say about the duvet you can apply to the pillow as well in terms of silk. I just want to give you a full page look at all of the prices of the duvets. Remember, we don't have Super King tonight, unfortunately. That's sold out on our last show. We didn't actually have enough of for our show tonight, but it was some stock that was meant for other countries. Diverted to Germany, was diverted here. A quarter of the stock of the double, the king, a quarter of the king has now gone. Again, we didn't have as many of those. You check out as soon as you can. I know you're probably waiting to hear about the pillow, and I know you're probably waiting to hear about the mattress before you check out because of the capped postage. So we'll talk about, and certainly, even if you're not shopping for a mattress tonight, you're definitely going to want one of the pillows and one of the duvets. If you don't have a Mulberry Silk duvet, I promise you should go to our website and have a look at everything that we've got on our show this evening. We have 100% pure silk pillowcases as well. Now, they're 100% silk on the outside. There is actually a cotton interior, so they don't slip off your pillowcase. And you have Arctic, Desert, Sage and White. Those are your choices, and they are phenomenal. £35, and we'll get to those a little bit later on. They fit obviously onto your Mulberry Silk pillows, and if you're going to go silk, go the whole hog. That's what I would say. And then here's the mattress as well. Now these have a pillow top that is full of Mulberry Silk. All sizes are available, I believe. King, yep, single. Is single available in there? Yes, it is. It's at the bottom. And if you want to get yourself one of those, they're actually, essentially, they're called Cocoon because of obviously like the Mulberry Silk. I like that. I think that's a great name. From the Mulberry Silk Company. They produce only two mattresses, a premium and a premium plus. You are getting the premium plus, which has the pillow top that's full of the Mulberry Silk for the price of the premium. So actually you are getting you're paying the entry level price for the top of the range mattress. Again, that's by special arrangement between Ray's company and us here at ShopOnTV. Here's a little sort of an update for you. Everything is selling very quickly. The single is flying out the door. The double is also flying out the door. We do have deeper stocks of the double, but we've only got, I think, a couple of hundred of those left, and that's usually, those will go usually halfway through the show. Yeah. So I don't want to pressure you, please, and this is the last thing I have any intention of doing. I will say it's the best bedding that you can possibly buy, in my opinion and my experience. I won't have anything else on my bed. It's as plain and simple as that. It's Mulberry Silk all the way. And also, even if it was just silk, you can't buy better. It's not like, well, let me see if I can go find a better quality silk duvet. It doesn't exist as far as we're aware. And if you were buying this in some of those luxury stores, to get full length, full strand, unbroken, 15 miles of top AAA grade, best silk money can buy in one duvet, you'd be looking at hundreds of pounds. You know, but let's talk about the price that people normally pay before we go on to the pillow for a regular, just, you know, an average duvet.
It's interesting you mentioned that. I went into the website a few months ago of a leading department store in Oxford Street.
Yeah.
For a Hungarian goose duvet.
Yeah.
Which is a good duvet,
yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
Hungarian goose is good quality.
Still gets too hot.
It's not as good as this.
No.
Because you can't wash it in the machine.
No.
It won't last as long as this.
It'll get dust mites.
It'll get dust mites in it. We haven't spoken about
we're
dust
do that
mites
next.
yet.
Yeah.
We'll do.
When we get to the
a Hungarian goose, right, for a double bed, was £310.
Yeah.
In Oxford Street, half a mile from here, £310. Now you're selling a double here for, I think it's about 179, isn't it?
179.
Something like that.
But also,
yeah.
even if you buy a cheapo, all right, yeah, sure, you can buy cheapo duvets for what these days, 50, 60 quid, something like
Yeah.
that. But they're made of hollow fibre,
Polyester.
polyester. You know they're going to discolour. You can't wash them. They're going to clump. Eventually they're going to be full of dust mites, and you're going to spend the whole night taking them off and putting them back on, taking them off, putting them back on. By the way, Stuart and Amanda have emailed in. What kind of cover do we recommend?
Right.
Well, I recommend none, actually. If you've got white bedding, you don't have to put a cover on it.
Well,
do you? But you can put any.
Stuart, Amanda, thank you for calling in. The quality of the top cover on this duvet is superb.
Yeah.
I always say if a customer could put their hand through the television and touch this, they would buy it instantly.
Yeah.
Because you know instantly you touch it, it's something extra special.
Yeah.
But the top cover is Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. Anything over 180 is considered to be luxury. Now, in certain countries I go to, say Canada, I go over there once every 6 weeks to sell these on TSC,
Yeah.
shopping channel. A lot of people in Canada don't put a top cover on. They just sleep under it as it is. But if you do put a top cover on, most people in Britain do, different countries do different things. Most people in Britain do, buy a nice cotton cover, put it on, and incidentally, when you do put the cotton cover on, it will not affect the performance of the duvet.
Of the duvet, no.
Because
Well,
don't
yeah.
forget, the top cover in the duvet is cotton anyway.
Yes.
And if you buy one tonight, and I hope you do, it'll be a very wise decision. You'll enjoy it for many years to come. You'll have many good nights to sleep under it. And remember, if you share a bed, one person likes a bed warm, one likes it less warm. If you sleep under this particular duvet, it self-reflects. You'll be able to sleep under the same duvet, two different people who like a different temperature, and be perfectly comfortable.
It gives you a
That's
bespoke.
that's another bonus.
Everyone who sleeps under it gets their own
Yeah.
personalised night.
It self-reflects.
It self-reflects. Okay, two things I want to say. If any of you are seeing on your TVs that any of our camera angles, the duvet or pillow looks slightly cream, it's not. It's our lighting, and for some reason it's making certain things look cream tonight. These are white. They are polar white. But I just want to
Snow white.
Snow white. I just want to reiterate what Ray was saying about duvet covers. There's no point in spending all this money on a natural fibre, two natural fibres, cotton and silk, to get all the benefits of silk and then covering it up with a man-made fibre duvet cover, because it will just completely, under a polyester duvet cover, you're going to sweat. And by the way, this wicks away moisture, so if you do sweat at night, it removes moisture.
It'll actually wick away, and people can check this if they go into Google or Wikipedia. It's not silly sales talk. It'll wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. So any lady going through the menopause, please buy yourself one of these duvets. As far as your sleep is concerned, it will change your life. And if it doesn't, it's not like a husband. You're not married to it. You don't have to keep it. You can send it back and have an instant refund. So if you are going through the menopause, please buy yourself one of these. It's a marvelous thing to sleep under.
And again, I just want to make it clear that if you do decide to, they should call first thing before they send it back, presumably.
Yeah.
So we'll try it first. Yeah, obviously.
You've got 28 days.
28 days. You call. You just use the information on the tag. You don't send it back to ShopOnTV. This is going to go back to the Mulberry Silk Company, essentially. So make sure that you call them first. No, I don't know.
You know, Rob,
You'll get
I
an
can't
RMA or
remember the last time we got one sent back.
No.
Now people might say, oh, he's bound to say that, but I can't remember the last time we got one sent back.
Right.
People buy them and fall in love with them.
Third of the king size now gone. A third of the stock gone of the king size. How much of the stock of the double have we eaten into a decent amount of that? About 15% of the double. And how much of the single gone? 20% of the single gone as well. So we'll move on to the pillow, because we can still continue to talk about the benefits. Best pillow money can buy, I believe. Honestly, truly. You know, if you see me present other pillows, I'll say there are only two pillows I'll recommend. One of them is another one we sell, but I've never used it. But I've known people who say it's very, 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 very good.
That's
But
fair enough.
This is the one. If you came up to me on the street, and gave me £1 million, which you're welcome to do any time, by the way. I don't want to discourage you in any way, shape or form. And asked and told me on your life, if your life depended on it, Rob, which duvet and pillow would you recommend? Well, there's the duvet and this is the pillow. I've been sleeping on mulberry silk pillows for 4 years now. They've never lose their shape. Again, the natural properties of silk, they wick away moisture so you never wake up with a sweaty or a hot head because they're temperature regulating as well. And I wash mine once a month, put them in the washing machine, 30 degrees, bit of laundry detergent, bit of fabric softener. I don't even use fabric softener actually, I don't
No.
these days. And then I've got a little clothes horse and I just put them on the top of the clothes horse and they dry in about 45 minutes.
Silk dries quickly.
Yeah. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Well, actually, there's nothing so big as an elephant. They're microscopic, in fact. This applies to duvets and pillows. What were the statistics you said when it came to the weight of a pillow or a duvet?
Well, I think I remember reading that I think it was one of the American papers, New York Herald Tribune or the New York Times, I can't remember which one it was, but they wrote an article saying the average pillow, they did some research, and the average pillow doubles in weight in 5 years with dead dust mites.
But you're not even supposed to keep your pillow for that long. You're supposed to change them every 3 to 6 months.
The people reckon you should change your pillow very quickly because of the dead dust mites. Now, what actually happens is this: the lifespan of a dust mite, Rob, is 10 weeks.
Right.
It only lives for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it dies. And the average pillow has about 1 million dust mites in at any given time. So every 10 weeks, 1 million dust mites die within your pillow. And what passes through their body before they die is in the pillow. So it's quite feasible to believe that a pillow will increase in weight with dead dust mites. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical practitioner. I have to be very careful what I say.
Nor am I just play one on
make
TV.
no false claims, but common sense tells me, common sense, this is my personal opinion, if you have a pillow that's free of dust mites, if you have breathing problems, asthma, hay fever, emphysema, if you're putting your head on a pillow for 7 or 8 hours every night that's full of dust, that's not a good situation. Put your head on a pillow that's got no dust in it, it's a very good situation. Now, these pillows are something special. How they came about, a buyer from a very large TV company, not ShopOnTV, we had been with this company for 22 years, and she came along to us about 7 or 8 years ago. She said, the public love your pillows, your duvets. Could you please make a pillow to the same high standards? Well, we went back to our head office in Vancouver. We have a research and development department there, and they went to work making a pillow. Now, they took their time. There's no point rushing. There's an old saying, the devil is in the detail, so they took their time. It took roughly 2.5 years to get the pillow ready to be sold to the public. Now, when it was ready, we brought it back to Britain to launch it. Now, when we launched it, this is quite interesting. Incidentally, at this point, I should mention, the bedding people within the bedding industry, they reckon if all pillows were sold with a money-back guarantee, they're not, but if they were, they reckon the percentage it would be returned would be 65%. 65% would be returned.
I believe it.
Now keep that figure at the back of your mind, 60 or 65%. When we launched this in the first 13 months, we didn't get 60 or 65% returned. We sold 86,000 pillows. And Rob, we only got 19 individual pillows returned, not 19%. 19 pillows. Now, here's the reason why. This one I'm holding is the one I sleep on at home. When I travel anywhere in the United Kingdom, I bring it with me in the boot of the car. And when I go into a hotel at night, I put this in the bed and I put my head on it and I sleep on it. That way I know I'm guaranteed to a really good night's sleep. This pillow has been slept on for roughly 5 years, 15,000 hours. It's been washed roughly 3, maybe 4 times every year for 5 years. You wash it a cold wash, 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry. Can you see what I'm doing now? When you wash it, it cannot and it will not lose shape. The reason being, the silk within the pillow is long strand, not little pieces chopped up and thrown in willy-nilly in any old fashion. Long strand. Each strand is over a mile long, unbroken, so it won't lose shape. Top cover, the finest cotton you could possibly imagine, 230 thread count. Dust mites don't like it, so that's a bonus.
Well, can we go back to
Your head doesn't get hot on it.
No.
Simple.
And you doesn't get moist either
No.
because of the
Sweat.
the fact that it wicks away the moisture.
And here's the interesting thing, Rob. We sell this pillow, we can only buy them from 2 people, from myself or from ShopOnTV. Now, I sell this pillow on my website, you can check this, at £60 per pillow and £5 postage. Now, to use a modern phrase, I'm not ripping people off. That is the true value of this pillow.
Actually, Barbara, who's watching now, she just emailed. She bought a pillow last time, just a pillow, and she said it is amazing. She loves it. She recommends it to everybody now, and she was so excited for the show because she wanted to come back and buy a duvet.
Yeah.
So now she's going to have a duvet coming to her. Wait till you try the duvet. You thought the pillow was good.
Barbara, you'll love it. But just remember just let me finish what I was saying there.
Yeah.
We sell them at £65. You buy them now from ShopOnTV for £40.
Yeah.
£40.
Do these have a guarantee on them as well?
Yes, 2 years with the pillow.
2 years.
No
on the pillow.
messing around.
Yeah.
Wash it as often as you want. This one, look at the condition of this pillow.
Yeah,
It looks
mine's
brand
5
new.
years old now.
You know, it really is. The reason it looks so wonderful, we're using top quality components. We're using Egyptian cotton and silk, the 2 most famous fabrics in the world.
Yes.
And it's manufactured by a company with a stellar reputation within the bedding industry for making high quality products, backed up with a money back guarantee. No dust mites. That's not me saying that. That's not Rob saying it.
No, that's...
The allergy boards are telling you, look,
Sorry,
dust mites do not like silk.
Do you get any dust mites in silk at all? Or is it...
Well, you might get the odd one as
But it's certainly not millions.
travelled off course,
They get lost.
skied off piste.
But that's so you like you were saying earlier. I think you said dust in your pillow. You meant dust mites,
Yeah.
obviously. You know. So I had injections when I was a kid against dust mites, and it's actually not the mites themselves. Although obviously they do live in your bedding, and the weight of the bedding does increase as they take up and die, and their carcasses are left behind. And then more come along, and then they die, and they're cut, and eventually. But so I know that sounds disgusting, but the mites are actually not. They're not generally an issue for us. What it is their droppings. It's their poo-poo that is the actual allergen, and so that you don't get any of that with your mulberry silk duvet or your mulberry silk.
Can I
pillow.
tell you something?
And tell us about the. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, Rob. This pillow, people when they buy it, they simply love it.
Yeah.
And I must tell you. You mentioned Jamie Martin tonight. He's the chief executive officer of this company.
Yep.
He's been in this ShopOnTV business for over 20 years.
Yeah, yeah.
He's vastly experienced. When we moved here roughly 4 or 5 months ago, he was one of our first customers. He phoned up, he bought 4 pillows and 2 duvets.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't know this, Rob,
Yeah.
but this evening, when we met him in the green room before we came on camera tonight.
Yeah.
You don't know this.
I bet it's come back from a mattress.
He bought a mattress.
I was going to say, yeah.
He bought a mattress. He bought an extra duvet
Yeah.
and 2 pillows for a friend as a gift.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, this is a man that has got access to the all
Everything.
these different things on
Any
ShopOnTV.
pillow, duvet, or mattress he wants. To
This
get
is
his
the one he
hands on.
bought. Ask yourself why. Money back guarantee.
And also, he's a wealthy man. He can afford
Yeah.
to buy whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this certificate because, this is not just when we're saying that these are dust mite-free zones or as close as you can get. That it's just us saying that, or Ray saying that, or the Mulberry Silk Company saying that as a bit of sales hype. Allergy UK is an official organisation, completely separate and independent.
Allergy UK are based in Warwick University.
Yeah.
Now, I say this as a compliment. They're very difficult people to satisfy.
Yes.
Their job is to scrutinize and find fault. That's their job. They're dealing with allergies, and they have to make sure that everything is in apple pie order before they grant this certificate. Now, to the best of my knowledge, and I'm sure I'm correct, this is the only duvet that the Allergy Board certificate have given this, been given this certificate for. Now, you'll notice we have it for Canada, USA, United Kingdom, Ireland, all of the EU countries, New Zealand and Australia, and it's granted for 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
Now, the reason they grant it for 1 year at a time, they're very clever. Very often you go into a place of business, there's certificates in the wall, they've been there for 30 or 40 years. They're brown with age. And sometimes, not always, the companies who have these certificates, they let the manufacturing standards drop. Now, that cannot happen with us. The Allergy Board people, they come in unannounced, they just walk into your premises and they check on the spot. And if our standards drop, if they find any fault, no matter how tiny, that's taken away overnight.
It's like the food hygiene almost, isn't it?
Yes, and incidentally, a second point we should make, very often what satisfies the authorities in Canada will not satisfy the authorities in Australia.
No.
But on this occasion, the quality of the product is so high, the manufacturing process is so perfect, they can find no fault, and they've granted this coveted certificate
Even in the
to our
EU?
products. Well, the EU, that's a nightmare.
I know,
Believe
I
you
know.
me. But that's the certificate.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish we had more stock tonight. The Super King, we didn't
We're
have
lucky
available.
to have any stock.
Well, I know, we kind of pulled together the rest of what we had available. 20% of the pillow, did I just hear? 20, that was we had a decent number of the pillows. Look, I don't know how, I don't know any new way of saying what I'm about to say, is what I was about to say. First of all, we have PayPal available, so if you want to buy multiple items, if you want to upgrade your bedding, maybe if you go for a size up, so if you've got a single bed, you go for a double duvet. If you've got a double, go for a king. And then you get that wonderful hotel drape. If you've got a couple of pillows on your bed, get yourself your pillows. But now's the time to be thinking about upgrading the bedding in the guest room or the kids' rooms. You know, kids are very resilient and we forget that. So we tend to farm them off, or fob them off actually, with the cheap mattress, the cheap bed. They'll be all right. They'll sleep. You know, they'll sleep through it. But then Mummy, Daddy, I'm hot. Shut up, go to sleep. I'm hot. And then you wonder, well, of course, because they're sleeping under a rubbish duvet that's made out of hollow fibre. Get one of these. In fact, if you've got like toddlers now, they'll be probably in their 30s, still sleeping on under the same mattress and on the same pillow in their 20s or 30s. That's the sort of investment you're making here. You're getting potentially not just a few years, but decades of use out of these products because you can wash them all. This fits in a regular washing machine. Now, I don't do more than one at a time. You could get stuff two in, but I like to have one freely moving around on its own.
Wash beautifully.
They really do, and they just come back like new. But what I was going to say, the thing I can't think of an original way of saying this is, if you want a better night's sleep, if you want to give yourself the best possible chance of having a good night's sleep, you need a decent duvet, a decent pillow, a decent mattress, and then the rest is up to you. The temperature in the room you have to make sure is not too hot, not too cold. And also, actually, the one thing a lot of people forget about is aroma. Your smell is actually one of your strongest senses. So put some sort of nice smelling scent in the room as well, and that will help, lavender, for example, to help you sleep better. But I promise you, if you've not got a mulberry silk duvet or the other pillow, a mulberry silk pillow or the other pillow we sell, because I know those are very good. I think this is better. I can say that now because we're on a mulberry silk show. I couldn't say it when we were selling it the other day. If you bought one, you're going to be very happy with them, I'm sure. But if you haven't slept on the two pillows that we particularly recommend here at ShopOnTV, I genuinely mean this. You have not had a good night's sleep yet. You don't know what it's like. You have no basis of comparison to what it's like when you do sleep on a premium pillow. So what I'm asking you to do, leap of faith, is if you're just curious, if you find yourself thinking now how curious you are about wanting to see and feel for yourself if everything we've been saying is true, you have a money-back guarantee that, the Mulberry Silk Company, if you're not happy with your pillow, they will give you your money back. So the most it's going to cost you is $4.95 postage and packing to have a punt. And you should. You really honestly should. And I say this to people, to everybody out there. Again, if my best friends or my loved ones, my family ask me, what do I recommend to them? Absolutely, hands down, without hesitation, get yourself a mulberry silk pillow, get yourself a mulberry silk duvet. And I'm going to be getting myself a cocoon mattress as well soon, and then I'll report back on how amazing that is. And we've got PayPal tonight as well, so you can spread the cost if you want to. Particularly a good night to buy your mattresses. But if you've been watching the show in the past, you've heard all the bold claims we've made about this bedding, and you've still not bought it yet, I mean this lovingly, and I can't force you to buy something. What you do is your right, and is none of my business whatsoever. But you are missing out. I mean, you really are missing out. Once you've slept under a mulberry silk duvet, it's like nothing you've ever experienced. If you've only ever slept under man-made fibre or feathers or any of those other types of filling in the duvet, you've not experienced what it's like to sleep under silk. It is transformative.
Well, Rob,
literally transformative.
The interesting thing is, a few years back, excuse me, I was traveling on a long-haul flight, and I got chatting to the guy next to me, and he was a doctor.
Yeah.
And he said, what do you do what are you doing? I said, I'm going to Canada. I sell duvets and pillows and television. And he said to me, he found that quite interesting. And he said, he told me then he was a doctor and he was going to a conference. And he said, you cannot put a price on a good night's sleep. Right. He said, the benefits to your health, he said, are unbelievable. If you just go to bed and you don't toss and you don't turn, you're just waking up in the morning, you feel better, you function better next day. He said your whole outlook on life is bright and cheery. He said, all down to a good night's sleep. Now, what we are saying with silk, it's a breathable fiber. You're not going to overheat. You're not going to waken up in the morning covered in sweat. You're going to have the most lovely, cushioned, comfortable night's sleep. And if you don't, we will give you a total, complete, and instant refund. And also, with the duvets, for example, 10-year guarantee. If you have any issues over a decade, you call them and they will sort it out for you. While we're on the pillow, one of the questions that undoubtedly is going to be asked is, what sort of pillowcase should we use on the Uncle Ray? Cotton. It's always best to use cotton. Or silk.
Or silk.
No, listen, if you want to use cotton, no problem at all. Yeah. The advantage of silk over cotton is unbelievable. But if you want to use cotton on cotton, you can. Yeah. Not a problem.
Well, in fact, you do with these mulberry silk pillowcases as well. Sorry, that was my subtle way of moving on to the pillowcase.
Oh, yes.
I actually do use cotton on mine. Yeah. But there is something just amazingly soft and luxurious. I mean, they do say smooth as silk, don't they? These are more than just any ordinary communal garden everyday pillowcase.
Well, that's one I've just taken out of the pack. Yeah. That's a color I like very much, the desert sand. Now, let me just give the viewers a little word of warning. When you buy a silk pillowcase anywhere in the United Kingdom, be very, very careful. Read the label on the pillowcase. Read, in particular, the very small print. What they do, they get cotton polyester, they polish it so it looks like silk, and they add a small amount of silk to a large quantity of man-made fibers so they get a higher profit. Now, these are made by the official Mulberry Silk Manufacturing Company Limited. You're buying from the official Mulberry Company. They are 100% pure AAA grade mulberry silk. Now, when I'm doing a live presentation, people come up to me and they say, I've read about these pillowcases. They stop your wrinkling, don't they? Now, they get an awful shock, Rob, when I say, I'm sorry, nothing will stop your wrinkling, and nothing will stop your wrinkling. Eventually,
Not
your
yet.
skin will lose its elasticity and you will wrinkle. But what you can do, and what you should do, is fight against the wrinkling process. Now, what silk does, it slows the wrinkling process down dramatically. The reason being, in silk, there are 18 amino acids. An important one is called sericin. Now, you spell that S-E-R-I-C-I-N. What sericin does, as you're sleeping, it traps the moisture in your skin. Cotton dries the moisture from your skin, takes the moisture from your skin. That's a fact. It's not silly sales talk. Silk traps the moisture in your skin. There is no static in silk, so it cuts out the frizz in your hair. And if you have long hair in particular, you don't have to tie it up at night. You won't waken up in the morning with bedhead. And the important thing to remember, the sericin within the silk never washes out. We estimate when you buy this pillowcase, it will last you the best part of your adult life. And I have no hesitation in saying, none whatsoever, if you were lucky enough to find a shop selling silk this quality, and you'd have to be very lucky. For a pillowcase this quality, you'd pay at least 50 or 60 pounds, more like 60.
And also, I just want to say that when we talk about these pillowcases, it's always, because we're talking about now pure silk. Now, there is a cotton liner inside, and we'll talk about why in a moment. It's for a benefit. As you probably noticed, I'm not wearing a white coat. I don't have a stethoscope. Ray doesn't either. We don't have clipboards and pens in our pockets. We're not scientists.
You're not Dr. Kildare.
We're not, no, exactly. But so what Ray is talking about are things that are reported in the sort of general compendium
Go into
knowledge.
Google or Wikipedia, do your own research.
About silk, yes. So
do your own research.
obviously we can't guarantee that though you're going to get those benefits. Individual results vary for everybody, for everything, but they are benefits that have been reaped
Do your
by
own
people.
Research. If a customer does
from
their
silk.
own research, Rob, they'll
Yes,
be quite happy.
do your. Well, that's why we say do your own research. But it's fine for you to mention those things because we know those are things that are reported in scientific knowledge and understanding, and also in anecdotal understanding and knowledge. We just can't guarantee that everyone's going to get those benefits, because no two people are the same. But certainly, if you do get those benefits, it's a great side benefit.
And the price you're selling them at, Rob, the price you're selling them at
35
is
quid.
wonderful.
Yeah.
You know.
And we've got the desert. We've got the sage, which is
the sage, that's
green.
a lovely one. Yeah.
We've also then got
white
the
and
Arctic
blue.
The Arctic blue at the back, which we can't quite see there. That's the most popular next to the which colour? To the white, and we have white as well. So there is inside a cotton liner.
Yeah. Now the reason why this is a very, very advanced and very difficult process. The reason why we put a very thin layer of cotton on the inside.
Yeah.
There's a saying that's known the whole world over: smooth as silk, right? Now cotton, even the best quality cotton, compared to silk, the best quality cotton is coarse.
Yeah.
So if we have a lining inside that's coarse, it will grip the cotton on the pillow and keep the outer cover
Yeah.
absolutely smooth.
Because otherwise, because I remember when a girlfriend years ago bought me some silk boxer shorts, and I kept sliding out of bed. It's very slippery. It's true.
Must have been a pretty sight, Rob.
Oh, she was.
Silk boxer
Yeah, all right.
shorts.
Well, I was a bit slightly more in shape in those days. Right. Let's talk a bit about the mattress as well, because we left that very late last time. But I just want to say we are now running out of stock on the duvet, and half the stock left of the king size. Half the stock left. We're about a third of the stock on the single. Is that right? And on the double, about quarter. Okay. What was it? 20%. So that is still, it's a larger stock, so it'll take some time. Please check out your baskets. The usual price for a single is £169. We have it for £139. If you want to double, it's $239. We've got it for £179. For $259 for the king, and our price £199. Now we reckon mid to late May the Super Kings should be back.
Yeah, we reckon in the middle of May.
Middle of May. Okay.
We're lucky to have any stock tonight. As I mentioned earlier, I have a friend in Germany, and I asked them to give us some stock to sell here tonight.
Now, actually, it's not really if, it's going to be when we sell out of the king tonight. Again, we're looking at middle of May,
Yeah.
right? So it's going to be about 3 weeks before any of these things start coming back into stock. The single could go tonight as well. The double, we might be all right on it. It really just depends. The pillow, where are we at on the pillow? Third of the stock on the pillow, did we say? A third of the stock on. And
That's
again,
a lot of pillows.
that was a lot of pillows. Look, do you know what? We're going to give you a chance to check out your baskets. We're going to have a little, play a couple of videos. Do check out, please, because you've seen everything except the mattress. Maybe if you're waiting for an explanation about the mattress before you check out, fair enough. I get that. I understand. But if you're not in the market for a mattress tonight, you've seen the duvets, you've seen the pillows. We've got the PayPal as well, so you can apply for the PayPal paying through if you want to spread the cost. And by the way, you can spend anything from £30 up to £2,000 with PayPal paying through. So you could actually have up to £2,000 in value in your basket, and then that will just calculate what your monthly payments are, and it includes the postage and packing of £4.95. And by the way, Bray delivers everywhere that has a postcode, basically.
Yeah,
don't
no
you?
problem.
So Northern Ireland,
No problem at all.
the Highlands and Islands of Scotland.
The beautiful Highland.
Oh, I love Scotland. I can't wait. Well, I know I say this every show. I'm going to buy a house just purely for Ray's benefit, midway between Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Beautiful.
Because I love both cities so very, very much. So look, please do check out. Yeah. So if you want to spread the cost, you've got the budget to do it over 3 months, and you want to get the duvets not just for your bedroom, but for the kids' bedrooms or the guest bedrooms. Look. If you've got elderly relatives who are getting on in years, well, I suppose that's what makes them elderly, isn't it? And maybe they have issues with arthritis or neck pain or joint pain or just the normal signs of getting older. Providing somebody in those situations with comfort could only be a good thing, right? And there ain't no greater comfort in terms of pillows and duvets, or luxury as well. But you just sleep better. We weren't supposed to wake up every half an hour to an hour while we were asleep. We're supposed to sleep for a full sleep cycle to get the full, deep, regenerative, recuperative sleep that our bodies need. And this will help you do it because you'll be comfortable. It's the waking up, because we're constantly moving the duvet on, moving the duvet off. It's the plumping, on the other, plumping up the pillows, folding them over, sticking your arm under them and all that kind of thing. I'd even say to my enemies, I might not like you, but if you want a good night's sleep, buy Mulberry Silk, forget the rest. There ain't no better in my opinion. I've tried everything out there in the last 25 years that I've been involved in transactional television, on and off. I've been given there was only one pillow that was ever as good, and they don't make it anymore. And it was called the Dream Wizard pillow.
Yeah.
It had an inflatable insert.
Yes.
Built an empire.
You've been back a long time now.
I know. Well,
Must be nearly 30 years.
my colleagues and I sold that on the first shopping channel, which is still going. And
Dell, what's his name? Yeah.
no, it was Paul Davis. Do you remember Paul Davis?
Yes.
And me,
Oh,
and I
the
think
blonde hair,
Debbie, who's still at the.
Yeah.
and we sold so many of those pillows.
You
that
know,
it built a whole empire.
And here's a little story that might...
Very quick. Do you want to hold it, actually?
Right.
We're going to take a little break.
Right.
Sorry,
No
Ray.
problem.
You will either start it or
No
finish
problem.
it, or I was just getting ready for a break. Sorry.
Okay.
So please do check out now. You've got to get these. You've got to. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, I'm going to come around and spank your bottom because you're not doing it right. If you're not sleeping with mulberry silk, you're not doing it right. And why should you get one? Why? Why? Why from ShopOnTV?
Price.
At ShopOnTV, our goal is to provide you with the best shopping experience possible. Our team of shopping experts is dedicated to sourcing the latest, greatest and most desirable products at the lowest prices available, delivering them to you quickly, conveniently and ensuring your complete satisfaction. We're passionate about maintaining the highest standards of quality and service, every step of the way from design to dispatch. Our nightly live broadcast is your TV window into the global marketplace, presenting you with a collection of carefully curated must-have items, demonstrated by our on-air team with honesty, integrity and trust. Plus, there's even more in our online store at shopontv.co.uk. So, when it's time to shop, shop on TV. At ShopOnTV, many of the offers during our nightly live broadcast are time sensitive. Some items may have low stocks, discounts and price savings that are only for a limited time, extra added value such as 2-for-1 and gift with purchase, or other desirable perks such as free postage and packing or expedited delivery. Before you go to bed, we encourage you to make it your nighttime ritual to tune in and check out what's on the show. From midnight to 3 on ITV1 and STV. You can also watch live or catch up on our YouTube channel at ShopOnTV Live. There are exclusive online-only offers on our website too, so keep your eyes peeled at shopontv.co.uk and bag the bargains before they're gone. Watch, shop and save with ShopOnTV. There are 3 convenient ways to place your order with ShopOnTV. Just scan the QR code with your smartphone's camera app to view the current on-screen item. Or go directly to our website, shopontv.co.uk, where you'll find all the products in today's show. Simply add the items you want to buy to your online shopping basket and check out. Prefer ordering by phone? Give our UK-based customer service centre a call on 03333 241 241. Friendly representatives are available to assist you 24 hours a day. Straightforward shopping with ShopOnTV.
Can I just say, hello, first of all, if you're just tuning in, this is ShopOnTV. I'm Rob Locke with an E. I'm not going to part with my pillow because I do love to hug a pillow. It's a security thing. But I have had this on my lap for the best part of an hour now, and I have not got a steaming crotch. I'm not overheating in the underpant department any more than usual because it's the natural temperature regulation, you see. Do you know, actually, with the duvets, what we do, my son and I, we keep the central heating off during the winter. I think we've put it on 3 times in the whole of the winter. And we have, specifically for this purpose, because it's just my son and I sharing a flat, we have a single mulberry silk duvet. And if it gets a little bit nippy, then we stretch it along the sofa, and that's how we keep warm. That and porridge, obviously. No porridge. We've moved on to the mattress because last time it wasn't until like 2 in the morning we got to the mattress. This thing really deserves its time in the sun. It's called Cocoon. It's the brand name of the mulberry silk mattress. It's a complete sleep system, and you are getting the top of the range for the entry-level mattress price here at ShopOnTV exclusively. Now this is $9.95, and we will send it to your home, all rolled up and vacuum packed. So a tenner ain't bad for a package of that size. It's 089838. Here are all of the we've got single, double king, and super king. Here are the prices. Which we'll show you in a second. They are very keen indeed. So, single, usually $549. We've got it for $360. So again, $549 is the price of the Premium Plus mattress, $360 of the Premium, and you're getting the premium pricing for the Premium, or you're getting the Premium Plus mattress for the premium price. That's the one that comes with the mulberry silk pillow top. The double, normally $749, we've got it for $450. The king size, $799, we've got it for $500. So there's a £300 saving there. $550 for the Super King, or $899 if you want to pay full price for it, which I don't suggest you do. Again, 100% breathable silk filling. You've also got this wonderful coil spring tech inside that we will tell you about. A 10-year manufacturer's guarantee. It's a medium firm feel, and it also comes with a sleep trial as well, so you can sleep on it and try it before you decide to keep it. So all you're deciding to do tonight is try it. All you're deciding to do is, or the only answer you have to say in your mind is, do I want to replace my existing mattress or upgrade to a better one? Yes, and so then you place your order. Where to start? The prices are very, very keen, aren't they? I mean, I paid the usual price for mattresses that were on sale at an autumn sale at 50% off.
Yeah.
The worst mattresses I've ever bought. My son will attest to this. They were the horrible box spring. I've now got springs sticking up my backside. I've got divots where my bum goes. I've never had a good night's sleep on this mattress.
Well, you know, when we decided...
Not this mattress, my mattress.
Rob, when we decided to enter into the mattress business, once again, we were asked to make a mattress by a TV company who we had dealt with for many years selling duvets. And they said, could you please make a mattress? And we said, yes, we will.
Yeah.
Now, we were in a very privileged position because, as you know from previous shows we have done, we exhibit every year, we have done for 65 years, at every major exhibition in Britain.
Yeah.
So we talk direct to the public, 9 in the morning to 6 at night for roughly 250 days of every year.
Yeah.
And we ask the public about their likes and their dislikes as far as bedding is concerned. Right, now having said all that, we asked the public what did they think about memory foam. And a few of the public said they liked it, but an awful lot of people said they didn't like it. For the reason being it made them too hot, made them sweat, it lost shape very quickly. In actual fact, that happened to myself and my wife. About 9 or 10 years ago, we bought a mattress, memory foam, very popular at the time, memory foam. So we bought one. Cost roughly £1,100, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Went along to the bedding shop, lay down on it for about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Thought, this is not too bad, right? Bought it, paid for it, got it home. 3 or 4 months later, didn't like it at all.
Right.
Because I was too hot, I was sweating,
Yeah.
so was my wife.
And then you're stuck with it.
You're stuck with it, and there was a big recess like this where I was sinking into it.
Sure.
No good whatsoever. So we decided to go with the regular,
Yes.
we decided to go with springs.
Yes.
Now, when I was a young boy, which is a long time ago, I used to sleep on a sprung mattress. The springs were very large in diameter.
Yes.
Roughly
And
the size of a small grapefruit.
Yeah.
Each one was joined to the one next door, and it had a binding rail around the edge. So what happened when I was turning over in bed, I weigh about 20 stone. My wife weighs about 10 and a half stone.
Yeah.
When I was turning over in bed, she was turning over with me.
Yeah.
Because you got motion transfer. So we decided to go with pocket springs.
Right.
And what I've done, I brought a pocket sprung section along with me. Now, as you can see, they're much smaller in diameter. Each one is individual. It's not joined to the one next door. Each one has got a wrap on it to keep it protected. Now, it's a support mattress. It's made for people to sleep on without sinking and recessing into it. The only spring that will move in this mattress is the spring where the weight is directly above it. For instance, look, this one in the corner, if I push it flat, the springs either side don't move.
Not affected, yeah.
So you see, with this mattress...
So it contours to your own body shape.
Yes. you sleep on it and get the most beautiful night's sleep. Now, there's 5 different layers in the mattress.
Well, I was going to say, Ray, because I don't want people thinking it's just pocket
No.
springs. Pocket springs are just springs are just a part of it. Let's show this, the whole cake, shall
There's
we?
5 different layers, right? All the way up, felt and layers, comfort layers. And when you get to the top, that's the important one.
Yeah.
That's where you get the mulberry silk.
Yes.
Now, the particular mattress we have in offer this morning is the top of the range, the Premium Plus. Now, the regular mattress stops here.
Yeah.
The Premium Plus has an extra layer of silk. It's packed to give you extra comfort with an extra layer of silk. And believe it or believe it not, we are offering this morning, the Premium Plus, at the same price we would normally charge for the basic premium. Now, the advantage of a silk mattress, no dust mites. That's a big advantage to start. It's healthy. No dust mites.
There's dust mite
silk.
inside the mattress as well as on this one on
Yes.
top. So
There's
on the
dust-
top, is that just like the duvet? Is it all long strand?
All long
fibers?
strand silk.
AAA grade.
And lots of it, Rob,
Yeah,
to give you extra comfort. So you see, you get no dust mites. When 2 people share a bed, one likes a bed warm, one likes it less warm, you can sleep in this mattress. It self-regulates, and you don't overheat and sweat. And the other thing I should mention, any lady going through the menopause, it's a terrible time, hot temperatures, cold temperatures, sweats, buy yourself one of these mattresses, because as far as your sleep is concerned, it will change your life.
Well, that is, a lot of people used to resort to, including my parents, by the way. So they have a super king size bed, but they have 2 single mattresses.
Yeah.
Because they both run at different temperatures.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I was years ago at a show, not so many years ago, probably 3 years ago at a show, I think, can't remember. I think it was a Royal Welsh Agricultural Show. And a lady came up to me, you know, she said, "I'd just like to thank you." I said, "Well, what have I done?" She said, "Well, you know," she said, "I bought one of your mattresses." She said, "My husband and I have been married for over 40 years. She said, and he was starting to sweat in bed. She said, he was sweating like a racehorse. She said, it was terrible. She said, it got to the stage I was thinking of buying separate beds.
Right.
She said, but I saw you in television. I bought one of your mattresses. And she said, well, it was just wonderful. She said, overnight, he was a changed man. He was having a proper night's sleep. He wasn't sweating. Everything was
You're
really
sleeping
good.
on a cloud of silk.
Cloud
By the
of
way,
silk.
it's one of the deepest mattresses that you,
Yes,
you
it's
can
lovely,
buy.
isn't
So was
it?
it 24?
But we've kept the best part till last.
Go on.
When I went to buy my memory foam mattress 9 or 10 years ago, I lay in the mattress for 4 or 5 minutes, and I was convinced it was wonderful.
Yeah.
But after 4 or 5 months, I wasn't convinced.
Right.
Now, we offer this mattress for sale with a 60-day trial period. It will be delivered to you when you buy it in a large brown box. Take it out the box, put it in the bed. You don't have to keep the original packaging. That can go in the dustbin. You don't have to repack it if you don't like it. Sleep on it for 60 days. Try it. And if you don't like it, and that's virtually impossible, just lift a telephone call, make one telephone call to us, and we will refund your money instantly. We will send you a special bag. You pop it in the bag. One telephone call, we will come and collect it next day, take it away and refund your money. So you get a chance to try it for 60 days. And here's another thing which is really important. You're selling, I'm looking at the price there, you're selling
A king, yeah, for 500 quid, yeah.
a king for 5. Well, I was selling these 3-4 weeks ago in Canada on TSC shopping channel. For a king, we were charging 1,400 Canadian dollars, which is 13, 6, 12, 6, about £950.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from what I learned when I went to get my mattresses that I hated and have hated for 4 years, and now I'm finally glad I can throw them away.
Yeah.
was that, you know, about the average for a decent starter mattress it's even considered a budget mattress actually is about £800 to £1,000, depending on the size you go for, obviously. Yeah, there are cheaper ones, but look, if you buy, please don't ever buy like the really cheapo £100 mattresses, because they're just going to be, they're going to wreck you, I'm sure.
You know, they should be put in jail for selling those.
They really should.
They're absolutely.
They shouldn't call them mattresses.
Disgraceful, what they call
They are
them.
things you can lie on if you dare.
Jimmy, I'm blowing our own trumpet. I'm Rob, sorry. I'm blowing our
You
own.
can call me Jimmy if you like.
I said Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, sorry. Call me Jamie, that's fine.
People call me Jimmy because I'm from Glasgow.
That's exactly.
They think everybody from Glasgow is a Jimmy.
Jimmy,
I got
hi,
mixed
Jimmy.
up. I said Jamie.
Ah.
Now, the other thing is this. I'm blowing our own trumpet here, but you can buy this knowing you're buying from a company with a reputation for high quality products.
Yes, yes.
We're not interested in cheap and nasty. When we get a new customer, we want to make that customer a friend for life. And when you buy this, you have 60 days to try it. If you don't like it, send it back.
But also, it is, because of the mulberry silk, it is probably one of the only one of the only mattresses that you can buy that is actually, it's not just, I know there are some mattresses that have dust mite repellent built into them. Whether or not that wears off or not, I don't know.
Whether or not
whether
it works.
Whether it works or not, I don't know.
Well, I do know, but I'm not allowed to say.
But silk, they just don't like, it's totally inhospitable for dust mites. They like where it's warm and dank. Silk, because it works away moisture and it's naturally temperature regulating, it's too dry and too arid an environment for them. It's like if
they
you
pack
showed
a bag, they emigrate.
If you went to move house from your current house and somebody offered you a mud hut in the middle of the Sahara Desert, you'd say, no thanks. Most of you, I would imagine. And that's kind of what it is for the dust mite. They're like, sorry, no, I don't want that. Because there are millions of lovely pillows and duvets with polyester and feathers in them where they can go set up camp and live in their millions, you know, and entire civilizations living in pillows and duvets. Not in these.
But the real reason, silk is a protein similar to your hair.
Yeah.
And they just will not go near silk. They just don't like it because it's a protein.
It's just phenomenal. This is, it's such a great mattress. And I've actually slept on, I haven't got one, but I haven't slept on this mattress, but I have laid on this mattress longer than I would in a shop.
Yeah.
And let's face it, we all go to the shop and we play the mattress like a piano, thinking that somehow, you know, makes you figure out whether it's something you're going to sleep on for the next 10 years. I mean, literally, a decision that is going to affect your life for maybe at least the next 5 years. You prod it a couple of times and you lay on it for 3 or 4 minutes. I've laid on this and this is so comfortable.
Well,
oh my God.
Here's another thing, Rob, which I must mention. And again, I must stress to the viewer, this is my personal opinion, right? I'm making no medical claims at all, but this is my personal opinion. When I was a young man, 23, 24 years old, I had a slip disc cut out my back. And I've had a very bad back, troublesome back, since I was 23, 24 years old. And as I've got older, it's got worse. Now, I've been sleeping in one of these mattresses now for roughly 5 years. I'm not going to say it's cured my bad back, because it hasn't, but it's improved it. Now, I'm not saying it will do that for everyone, but I'm saying it's done it for me. And also for my eldest son, Paul. He's 60 years old, and he, like me, has a very bad back, and he found the same. Sleeping on this support mattress, remember it is a medium firm support mattress. You're not going to waken up in 3 or 4 months and you're sleeping in a hollow. When you're getting on in years like I am with a bad back, if you're a bit bulky like I am, I'm 20 stone, just turning over in bed can be a bit of a task.
Yeah.
And the average person turns over in bed 15 times every night.
And they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't. Well, because of support mattress, you can turn nice and easy in the bed and have a lovely, comfortable night's sleep. And if you're lucky like me, it will help your bad back. But I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm just saying it did it for me.
Well, if you add comfort into the equation,
Yeah.
it could only help, right?
Yes.
Incidentally, speaking of us, I know we're both larger lads, but should I tell you something interesting?
Pleasantly plump.
Pleasantly plump, more to love.
That's what my granddaughter
Twice
says.
as much to love.
Granddad, you're pleasantly plump.
I don't know how any woman finds men attractive. Even well, I suppose there are a couple of men who are probably attractive, but I just think men generally. I'm not attracted to men, but so that's probably why. But the fact that any woman sleeps with any man is always a miracle to me. Not with me, obviously. I've never had that luck of certainly in the last decade. But with generally, I think that's the way it's done out there in the rest of the world. But I had a point, and I've diverted myself onto basically it's a beeline for a big hole, isn't it, that I've dug?
Yes.
And now I'm going to back up. Beep, beep, beep. Rob is reversing. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you a fact.
Yes.
So there are two. Now I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a medical professional, but I can read, and I do a lot of research into weight management because of my current situation. Well, my whole life, my weight's gone up and down. So there are two, and I think I can say this without being contradicted, two fat hormones, two hormones that make you store fat. One is insulin and the other is cortisol, right? That's one of their functions is to store fat. Cortisol is also known as the stress hormone. So if you get a bad night's sleep, it can promote cortisol production, and because cortisol is one of the fat hormones, it can also therefore promote weight gain. So the point I'm trying to make is that it's been said, again, I'm not saying that we guarantee this as a benefit, who knows, but I have read that a good night's sleep can also help you maintain a healthy weight.
Well, it's like we said right at the beginning of this show. When I was on a plane going to Canada, I sat next to a doctor. He did comment to me. He asked me what I did for a living, and I told him I sold duvets and that type of thing on television.
Yeah.
And as we got into the conversation for the 7 or 8 hours of the flight, he said to me, and I'll repeat what he said. He said, you should mention on television when you're selling your mattresses and your duvets, you cannot put a price on a good night's sleep. The benefits are simply wonderful.
Well, we don't function properly without. Now,
Right.
look, I can't wait. I was going to say I can't wait for a good night's sleep. I won't get one because I've got horrible mattresses, and it takes me forever to get to the point where I'm so tired I just pass out. But I've had a very, very busy week, and last night this morning I had to get up very early, and obviously my body clock is working later in the day, so I had no sleep. I had to wake up to do an audition, and then I didn't get to sleep again really only for a couple of hours during the day, and then I didn't get to have my nap when I came to the studio. So I'm running on pure adrenaline at the moment, and you start to, and caffeine, you start to sort of question your own sanity a bit, don't you, when you haven't had a good
When you don't have a good night's sleep.
No.
All I can say is this: people love this mattress. People love our products.
Why should they buy
Period.
this and not any other mattress?
Because
Why trust you?
I'll tell you why. 2 reasons.
Yeah.
3 reasons.
Okay.
Right? 1, it's a healthy mattress. Dust mites don't like it. You don't overheat on it. You don't sweat on it. It self-reflects. If 2 people share a bed, one likes the bed warm, one likes it less warm, you can sleep in this and be perfectly comfortable. 2, when you sleep on it, it doesn't recess. It's a support mattress. Your body is going to be flat out and relaxed. And 3, which is very, very important, when you're buying anything, whether it's on television or from a regular shop, it's very important that you get value for money.
Yeah.
And believe you me, when you're getting a mattress this quality, packed with silk at this price, you're getting value for money.
If you think about it, what is a king size duvet? A couple of £100, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So when you think you've got the equivalent amount of silk in the top of the mattress, right, as you have in a duvet, roughly, would you say?
Yeah.
And then all the rest of it is, I mean, if you took the 200 off the, you know,
Yeah, the
you
quantity.
can see that the price is very good.
And again, we mentioned it earlier in the program, I'll just repeat it. The reason why we can offer these top quality products at such an affordable price, there is a reason.
Yeah.
And the reason is simple. We retail in a different fashion to most people who manufacture bedding products. We only have one customer in every country. Our head office is in Vancouver. When we started all those years ago in Vancouver, right, we only sold in Canada. Now we sell in, I think it's 30 odd countries throughout the world.
Yeah.
And each country we go to, only one customer in each country, and it's ShopOnTV. Now ShopOnTV, the buyers buy large quantities. They buy them at a special advantageous price, and they pass the saving on to the viewer. They cut out the distributor, the wholesaler, and the retailer. You're buying direct with a money-back guarantee, no nonsense, and remember, 60 days to try it. If you don't like it, after 60 days, money back.
And so that's the thing. It doesn't matter. I mean, we could tell you it makes you coffee in the morning, but you can get it. That would be a good thing for a mattress. I'd definitely buy that. I mean, let's think of it from a purely logical point of view. If you're a business, right? If you're an entrepreneur, or if you're a business owner, you know what it's like. If you were sending out your product to somebody, and you've said that within 60 days, within 2 months, if that person doesn't like it, they send it back and they get all their money back except the postage and packing. That's the only part we can't refund, obviously, because that's paid to deliver it. And you knew that product was not very good, and it would come back, it would be returned, wouldn't it? And so no business is going to sell something that's so inferior quality that everybody sends it back, because they would be out of business. This company that's been around for 60 years would be
65 years.
65 would be out of business. Ray doesn't do anything by halves, and the Mulberry Silk Company don't do anything by halves. This was years of research and development.
Yeah.
From experts in sleep technology who created this, and silk, who created this technology. That's why you can absolutely be guaranteed that it's, and by the way, it comes to you vacuum formed, rolled up in a box, so it's easy to get into.
And again, I'll just mention, because it's so important that you get value, proper value for money.
Yeah.
Not pretend value for money. This is a price that is, the only word to describe it, sensational.
Sensational, pop pickers. Right, here's a quick recap of all the prices. It is for the single usually $5.49, but we have it for just 360 British pounds. If you were going to go for a double, $749 is the usual price, but we have it for £450. And if you wanted to get the king, $7.99 would be the regular price, but we have it for £500. And then finally, if you were going to get the Super King, $8.99 is the usual price, but we have it for $5.50, and delivery is $9.95 for all of them. And remember, that does include the $4.95 capped postage, so it's an extra £5 on top of the capped postage, purely because of the size of the parcel. But if you are buying other items that are $4.95 postage and packing, again, you won't be paying any additional P&P on those items. It's just a 1 P&P charge per order, per checkout, per delivery, if you like. 098838 is the atom number. And here is a quick reminder, we're going to go back to the Serenity Silk Duvets. Serenity, again, is a brand name that's exclusive to ShopOnTV. It is just it's an upgraded packaging, essentially, that we did for gifting and such. Inside the box, though, is a 100% mulberry silk, top quality, from the official Mulberry Silk Company duvet. $169 usual price for the single. We've got it for $139. Where are we stock-wise? Pushing towards a half the stock of the same single? Yes, and then for the double, what's that? We're okay on the double for now, and the king size, we're down to about 40% left of the king size. $4.95 is your delivery charge again on those. And remember, if you are using PayPal Pay in 3, we do have that available now. Then that will give you the opportunity to actually spend anything from £30 up to £2,000 in one approval. So you can, if you want to, if you do decide to buy multiple items, you can spread the cost over all of them at the same time with that one checkout, that one order. Look, I can't guarantee that it's the best duvet on the market in the world. I can only tell you that in my experience and my opinion, having tried multiple duvets and multiple pillows, that these are, or they are, and speaking obviously because we're talking about the duvet now, that it is the best duvet that I've ever slept on in my entire life. And again, I know this sounds bold, but the thing is, I can't lose here, because you're going to get it home, and if you're not happy, if everything I said was a load of old rubbish, you could just get your money back. And why would I bother? Certainly, why would Ray bother? Because once a duvet is returned, they have to destroy it. They can't resell it. Everyone always gets an absolutely brand new, and charity won't take it because it's been slept on. So it would destroy Ray's business. And again, it just happens to be true. It's one of those things that sounds too good to be true, but it actually is true. And I genuinely wish I could ask the question of anyone who doesn't have mulberry silk bedding, why not? And a lot of the time it's because they're not aware of it. But if you're watching right now and you've watched enough of this program and this broadcast to understand the benefits of silk and the quality of the duvet that we're offering you tonight, and you don't buy one, I can't figure it out why you wouldn't. Now, or unless you can't afford it, I understand that. Maybe it is a financial constraint. They are a little bit, more expensive than a cheapo duvet you get from a supermarket. Of course they are. They're luxury, top quality bedding. You could look at it the other way, from the glasses half full perspective, of compared to what you should be paying for equivalent silk duvets out there that are not even as good a quality, and they're up in the £300, £400, £500 range. So, you're buying a Rolls Royce for a price of a Kia. Actually, I can't think of any brand names of Kia or model names. Kia Ceed. Is that a thing? Kia Ceed. Two cars. Sportage.
Yes.
My friend just got a Kia. The Pro Ceed. Very nice car. I do love. I would probably get myself a Kia because I can't really afford the roller at the moment. Well, I could get one that's. Well, you can get a roller for a pretty decent price second hand, but it's just, if you have to maintain them, that's where you start to take out a second mortgage. You know what I mean?
I know. My car's 15 years old.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm not a car fanatic.
No.
I'm quite happy as long as it starts in the morning. I'm quite happy.
See, I don't drive because I'm in London. There's no point.
No point.
And I miss driving so much. So I've said that if I were going to get a car, I would get something really naughty, just because it's got to be fun. It would not be. It's a midlife crisis. I'm also then going to get myself a hot young blonde as well, or brunette. I'm not fussy, or ginger for that matter. But I'm going to buy myself a car that is nothing but pure, unadulterated, stupid fun. Because if you're going to pay money for it, you might as well enjoy it, right?
Corvette for you.
Oh, no, it's no. F-Pace SRV.
Okay.
Does 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. It's an SUV with a sports tuned, and oh yeah. And this really is the Jaguar F-Pace SRV of duvets, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh.
You've lost me. My car's 15 years old.
Now, so we have some emails, so you go ahead. Stevie Carlisle, he says, "Morning, peeps, got something to say. I love my mulberry silk duvet. Best purchase I've ever made. Generally, told you. Message to your viewers, get one. You will not regret it." I mean, this is the thing. Ray, you said if you could reach through the TV screen and touch this.
I always say this, if a customer could put their hand through the television and touch this,
Yeah.
they would buy it instantly, because it's obvious to anyone. It's something very, very special.
Well, like you see, I'd say if we could take the duvet and put it on their bed for one night.
Yeah. Oh, they'd keep it.
You'd keep it. What was the other email, Leslie? Sorry, Ray. David, he said he bought a mulberry silk pillow and a pillow around about a year ago. So good, in Rob We Trust. Hey, I like that. Can we put that? Can we put that on money? Peter, is it Peter? Did you say? Oh, Tina. Where did I get Peter from? Tina wants to know, how can this be comfortable and warm when it's so thin?
Right. Tina, the answer is really quite simple. Please don't confuse bulk with warmth. Silk is a low conductor of heat, right? And it retains heat in a different fashion to duck, goose feather, or the dreaded polyester. Now, 2.5 weeks ago, I was in Reykjavik in Iceland selling these duvets. And 2 days later, I was in Toronto in Canada selling these duvets. We're a Canadian company. Our head office is in Canada. Now, Iceland, Toronto, Canada, these are very cold countries, believe you me. And we've been selling these duvets there for 35, 36 years. And if they didn't keep people hot, we couldn't go back and sell them year in, year out. Silk will keep you warm in the winter, really warm, and cool in the summer. Nobody knows why, only Mother Nature. She's the only person that knows how this is possible. But it's a simple fact of life. Silk has the ability to reverse. You know, people who go mountaineering, what I call the big boys mountains. Mount
Or girls.
Everest, K2, or girls.
Or girls, yeah.
Big boys or girls mountain. K2, Everest, Mount Logan in Canada. These are very high mountains. It's very cold up there. Everything they wear is lined with silk. The jackets, the socks, the trousers, the tents, the sleeping
Arctic
bags.
clothing.
You know, within the bedding industry, Tina, silk is known as the great insulator. So please don't confuse bulk with warmth. You can buy this with total confidence. It will keep you beautifully warm in the coldest weather, and it will reverse in the summer and keep you cool. And if it doesn't, send it back.
Send it back. I can attest to it. -7 was the coldest when I was in that porter cabin, because it just, you wrap, I mean, if it's really cold like that, you might want to tuck it under. That's, I found that I did, because you want to be sort of cocooned, really, which is what, I mean, it's what it was made for. But it'll take you usually about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes for your body temperature to heat up the duvet, and then it will stay at that temperature. It won't get too hot. You won't overheat, because it dissipates. It regulates the temperature, so it dissipates excess heat, whereas hollow fibres and feathers don't. And I promise you, I guarantee you, and please, I tell you what was that lady's name? Tina. If you buy a duvet tonight, and I'm talking any word of a lie, I'll buy it back from you myself. Because I guarantee you, I can't do that for everybody.
That's fair enough, isn't it?
I'm not that wealthy. But
That's fair enough.
For Tina, I'll give you your money back. Forget what anyone else will do.
I can't remember when I'm doing exhibitions. You know, people come in, people come up and, you know, they just walk up and they say to me, you know, I'll give you an example. A lady said to me years ago, you know, she said, I've been watching you for years. Every year I come to the Great Yorkshire Show. There you are selling your duvets. You know, she said, year in, year out, I have a little chat to you. She said, well, this year I'm going to buy one. And she did.
Yeah.
And the following year she came back. She said, can you remember me? And I said, well, not really, to be honest. She said, I bought a duvet from you last year. She said, it's simply wonderful. And then she said something that everybody says, every single person. She said, I wish I had bought it years ago.
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people who are watching tonight and thinking, well, there they are on TV once again, doing their best to sell me a duvet. Should I buy it? Should I not buy it? Don't sit in the fence. Just buy it and try it.
Yeah.
And I can assure you, if you don't like it, we will refund your money instantly without one word of an argument. You buy this is going to last you, in our estimation, the best part of your adult life. This is an investment. It's not a cheap and nasty duvet. It's something made by people with a vast knowledge of quality bedding. It'll keep you warm in the winter, cool in the summer. It's machine washable. It has a 10-year warranty. The duvets we have in my bed at home are 29 years old. And my wife washes them on average 3 or 4 times a year. Wash them a cold wash at 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry. They dry quickly, and once or twice a year, on a warm sunny day, if you're lucky enough to have a garden, drop it over the washing line in the garden, and the UV rays of the sun, this is a fact, totally purify and cleanse it. They don't retain body odors. You know that lovely feeling, Rob, when you put clean bedding on the bed?
Yeah.
We call it in my house clean sheets night. When you put clean bedding on the bed and you're tired and you go into bed at night and and you just lie back and you think, oh my goodness, there is a God. Thank you very much. This is wonderful. Yeah. That's the feeling you get with silk.
But the thing is also, Ray,
relax.
it goes further than that, because on clean sheet night, what most people have done is they've only washed the duvet cover. They've got a mattress inside that is months or even, God forbid, years old, that has been festering in nightly sweat and also dust mites, the carcasses of their predecessors, and the droppings from their daily repast, and that's just basically you're keeping it wrapped up in a cover. With these, you wash the whole duvet.
Well, you know, I was at the Royal Ulster Show in Belfast a few years back, and there was a beautiful old lady there. She was in her 90s, and she was a horsey lady. She had some horses that she was exhibiting at the show, and she came from Enniskillen.
She was a horsey lady.
She was a lovely old
Did you
lady.
say what's with a long face?
No, she was beautiful. Rob, this lady was a class act, believe you me.
Oh, yeah.
90 odd years old.
Wow.
She was a lovely old girl. She came up, she said, I'm sleeping under the same duvet that my grandmother slept under in 1952.
Wow.
She said, why should I buy one of your duvets? I said, well, I think you should try one at least. And she bought one, and she came back the following year. She said, you were right. She said, you cannot put a price on a good night's sleep. Words to that effect.
Yeah.
People are sleeping under duvets. Some of them are 20 and 30 years old.
Well, yeah, the duvet's not the people, but although the people as well, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's because it's a different feeling. It's a different experience, because I don't think unless you've had a natural fibre duvet before, and again, if you do put them in pillowcases, in duvet covers, please make sure, Amazon, you can buy Egyptian cotton sheets for 20, 30 quid. Go with cotton, go with a natural fibre, so you don't lose the benefits of the silk. It's got to be a breathable natural fibre. I was going to say, actually, in terms of the size of these, I'd lost my train of thought, but something I've been
Standard UK size.
Standard UK sizes. But if you want to travel with your duvet, you can. I don't know if we can get a shot. I don't know if we got. Okay, one sec. Just over there is the box that it comes in. And remember, Serenity Silk, the Serenity Silk duvet, it is a mulberry silk duvet inside. It's just that the Serenity name is the upgraded packaging, and it's exclusive.
They're in sustainable packagings.
Yes, yeah.
Eco-friendly, and they're beautifully packaged, so that if you want to give it as a gift to someone who's maybe getting engaged or married, it's a nice, inexpensive, quality gift.
But if you look at that, so the sleeping lady, that is a piece of A4 paper, right? Sleeping lady, the back page, A4. So it's only about another third as wide as a sheet of A4, and probably about the same. I mean, that's a king size.
Yeah.
The Super King's not much bigger.
The
than
largest one we make is a Super King,
yeah,
and it weighs just over 2.2 kilos.
You can fit it in a carry-on suitcase, yes. And even the Super King will go into a regular, typical, standard communal garden 7.5 kilogram front-loading washing machine. And again, 30-degree wash, a little bit of laundry detergent. By the way, my advice: if you do find that if you don't put a cover on your duvet, because these are designed so you can actually just use the Egyptian cotton cover that's covering the silk rather, just as without a cover. You just have the whole thing on the bed as it is. A lot of people do that. If you do find that there are stains, or it gets discoloured or anything because pet's done its wee, or kids, or snack at midnight or something like that. If a regular wash doesn't take out the stain, what you can do, those oxy cleaners. Don't use the powdered version. Make sure you get the liquid gel version, and it will say whether it is safe for silk. But I find a couple of capfuls of that, or a capful of that, the recommended amount, and these come up really white. I find they whiten as well once they come out of the washing machine. They kind of get brighter.
That's because it's simply the quality. And incidentally, something I should mention. Excuse me, I haven't mentioned this. The cotton we are using is long fiber cotton. Now, a lot of people might not have heard of long fiber cotton.
I haven't or hadn't.
Right. Well, funny enough, let me explain what it is. When you pick cotton with a mechanical device or a machine, cotton becomes stressed. This is a fact. Becomes stressed and it breaks.
Yeah.
And you get short strand cotton. If you pick it by hand, it's a more gentle process, and cotton doesn't get stressed and it doesn't break, and you get long fiber cotton. Now, the advantage of long fiber cotton, right, it's softer, it's more luxurious, it can be woven in a slightly different way, and it's longer lasting and it's stronger than everyday regular cotton. Now, a lot of people have never heard of long fiber cotton. Funny enough, just by Christmas time, when you get to my age, your grandchildren, they don't know what to buy you when you're my age at Christmas.
Yeah.
So I end up getting bought sports shirts. That's all I ever get, an aftershave.
Right.
So one of my granddaughters bought me some sports shirts from Marks and Spencer's.
Oh.
And when I was reading the washing instructions, long fiber cotton. So they've cotton onto it to use.
They've cottoned onto it.
Cotton onto it.
Hey!
Long fiber cotton. Long fiber cotton, that's what we're using here. The best of the best, 230 thread count. Anything over 180 is luxury. The filling within the top cover, the best quality silk known. AAA grade mulberry silk. Nothing else. No inferior fibers mixed in with it. It's not a silk mix. It's 100% pure AAA grade mulberry silk.
See it inside.
Made by the official Mulberry Silk Company. Read the label when you buy it. You're buying the highest quality that we know how to make, with a money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. It's a bargain.
And it is the only duvet that we know of that carries the Allergy UK official certificate, certifying that it is effective against live dust mites, because they just don't like to live in it. Right. What I want to do, if it's okay, Ray, because we're I suppose about 45 minutes away from the end of the show, can we? I love sitting here with this pillow. I really do. It's so comfortable.
Moorish, isn't it?
I don't have a partner, so it's but I've got a lovely pillow. I've got a couple of lovely pillows.
You got a teddy bear?
No, my teddy bear that I had since I was 1. When I came back from America, I thought I've been carting this thing around for literally decades with me, and it always ends up sitting in a cupboard. I thought, I think it's time for another kiddie wink to enjoy. And I took it to a charity shop and then regretted it terribly. But I didn't used to sit there hugging it, obviously. What I was going to say is, can we, just in the last few moments of the show, look, please check out. I'm going to say, please check out now. Get yours, because the stocks are running low. It will be, we won't probably have enough for another full show left until the middle of May when new stocks.
Yeah.
I'm going to be with you Sunday night. We're only on the air for about an hour and a half, so whatever we've got left, I'll present the rest of it then. Look, please. We're nearly limited stock on the single now. If you want the single, you must check out now or you'll miss it.
We're lucky to have any stock at all.
Well,
we borrowed this from my friend in Germany.
I know. And we're pushing to. We won't be long before we're limited on the king size as well. The pillow might even get to that stage too tonight. Very, very busy. And I just want to say, I know there are people out there, and it's the weirdest thing, Ray. And I don't mean this to be denigrating in any way or rude in any way. But I know there are people watching right now who will listen to everything that we've said and have watched everything that we've been presenting. And if you ask them right now to their face, don't you think this is an amazing duvet? It's, oh, yeah. Can you afford one? Oh, yeah, yeah. Do you think that's probably better than anything else that you've ever slept on before? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And I mean, you believe everything we've said because you know, you understand, you can trust that we're telling you the truth. And we're on ITV and STV. We're covered by Ofcom and the Advertising Standards Authority. Very strict rules and guidelines about what we can and can't say. Yeah, 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 yeah. Did you buy one? Nah. And I'm like, why? Well, it's on telly, isn't it? It's nothing on telly. And people just have this weird, and I know there will be people, sadly, who fall into that category. I hope you can, if you do it for one thing and one thing only, get over that whatever that stigma is and take that leap of faith with these. And I will say, look, it's Ray's company, the distribution of these products in the UK. So of course he's in it for profit, yes, but he sells a superior product at a very reasonable price, and so he makes an honest buck, so to speak. I don't get paid anything for selling these duvets. My sitting here and being infusing and telling you what I'm telling you as my gospel fact to you from my experience is because I'm a customer. I've got mulberry silk because I'm a customer of mulberry silk. I've got, let me see, five pillows. I've got 3 duvets. So I've got a travel double. I've got a single for the living room that my son and I keep ourselves warm. I've saved a fortune in central heating, by the way. And I've got a super king size on my bed, and my son has a king size on his bed. We will not, my son's 21, he's standing right there. We will not sleep on anything else. We've tried every pillow. I'm not, being in this business, I get offered free samples of everything all the time. Every pillow you can imagine, every duvet you can imagine, every bedding product you could think of under the sun. And I've been doing this professionally for 30 years. Is that right? Good Lord. Yeah, 30 years. 30 years this year, actually. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about, and I don't get any commission. I have never made any commission in this job. As I said, and I don't mean this to impress you, but just to impress upon you, that I personally have generated sales worldwide of over £1 billion in my career in this industry. If I had even 1% of that, or even 1% of 1% of that, I would be on a beach somewhere right now sipping a Mai Tai. I get paid a straight fee. I'm still only, like everybody, 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless and going hungry. So trust me when I tell you, for the best night's sleep you can possibly have, I personally think it's mulberry silk or bust. So what I was going to say, now I've done my little bit, because I want people to understand that. I mean, genuinely. I bought it for my son. I give it to my friends. I give it to my family. Why would I give them that if it was a load of old rubbish? I wouldn't. But
and you paid for it.
Yes.
A minute ago you said you got offered free samples.
No, right. Yeah, no.
When you're in this industry, people are desperate for you to take
course.
free samples.
People want me to try
You bypassed all that and bought them.
And
we mentioned earlier this evening, the chief executive of this company
bought them,
and tonight ordered some extra.
Yeah.
A mattress, 2 pillows, obviously 2 or 4 pillows, and a duvet for a friend of his. People who are in the industry, they might talk about other pillows, other duvets. Believe you me, every single one of them, this is the one they buy, 100%.
As it's election year in America,
Yes.
and it's going to be an interesting year
Donald.
come November. I'm not going to get into politics, but I will say this, that buying these is a little bit like American politics. In the I can't remember what I was going to make the point I was going to make about that. Oh no, I've ruined it.
That's an age
I've
thing,
ruined
Rob.
my point.
I do that too.
Honestly.
I do that.
I was literally just completely vanished
Election,
from
we're talking about elections.
But there was a reason for it. Elections and duvets. What was it? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Are you telling me if you contribute to a presidential campaign, that they don't expect something in return from you when they get into the White House? So when people offer you freebies all the time, products and things like that, we don't take them as a matter of course, because are you telling me that they're not going to expect something down the road, some kind of preferential treatment or whatever, you know what I mean? So that was a really bad point, made really badly. Thank you very much, and that's the end of my professional presenting career. Let's see what customers have to say, shall we? Mary Gourlay, what a wonderful name, said, I wish I'd found your company years ago. Your silk duvet has transformed my life. I now sleep not waking in a hot sweat. And my husband, who felt he couldn't sleep without a seriously weighty duvet and is cold-blooded, also sleeps. Yeah, a lot of people abandon their weighted blankets for these.
Well, Mary, thank you very much for your recommendation, and it's always nice when you buy something and you get total satisfaction.
We've got some more as well, actually. Gillian Copley says, singing the praises of your product to all who will listen. Brian C says, very light to sleep under. And Margaret says, we purchased another one. Very much look forward to it. Do you know what? Actually, that's the one complaint most people make about Mulberry Silk, isn't it? They wish they'd bought another one.
Another one. Well,
Yeah.
Talking about buying another one, when we drove down this morning from Scotland, from Glasgow,
Yeah.
we passed quite a few motorhomes and caravans. The sun's out, people are now starting to bring them out and go travelling with them. Now, we exhibit at every major caravan show in Britain and have done for 65 years.
Yeah.
And for 35 of those years, 36 actually, we've sold silk duvets. Now, most of the shows in the summer, caravan shows, are Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And very often people will come along on a Friday afternoon, they get the caravan in position, get the motorhome in position, put their awning out, get all the tables and the chairs out, get themselves organized. Then they start to walk around the trade share exhibits to see what they want to buy, or might not buy. And they'll come up to our stand sometimes, a couple of people who share a bed, maybe a husband and wife or two people who share a bed. And they're not 100% certain if they want one of our duvets. And this is what they say, I say, well, look, take it, pay for it. Take it, sleep under it tonight in your motorhome or your caravan, right? And given that option, virtually all of them buy one and take it to sleep under it and try it. Now, 30 to 35% of all the people who buy one on a Friday, sleep on it on a Friday night, come back on a Saturday morning to buy a second one.
Yeah.
They sleep under it for one night, and immediately the duvet they've been sleeping under for 30 or 40, 20, 10 years, whatever, duck, goose, feather, polyester, that gets put in the back bedroom and gets put up in the loft.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's confiscated. One night under this, you'll never ever want to sleep under another duvet. Guaranteed for 10 years, money back if you're not pleased.
I was going to say, I think I alluded to it earlier, or I might have started to mention it. It is a totally different sensation when you get under it, because if your duvet, and I'm talking about in your whole life, whatever you've slept, whatever duvet you've slept under, or maybe it was blankets when you were very young, if you depending on how old you are. Blanket, don't even get me started on blankets, but if it's a duvet, if your duvet has had a feather in it, or a foam, would have been foam in the old days? It was mainly feathers in the old days, but then with the introduction of polyester, hollow fibre and all that kind of stuff, it probably was a man-made or a person-made fibre. I don't know what the PC version of man-made is these days. I'll have to look that up. But so forgive me if I'm being ignorant. But the point is, if your duvet's got any of those things in it, you don't know what it's like to sleep under a proper duvet, because you will, in all those cases, you will have overheated and taken the duvet off. Then you will have cooled down and started to get cold and put the duvet back on. They will have retained moisture from your sweating. You may have woken up clammy or even downright wet. And then they stay wet the next day until they dry, and that becomes a haven for dust mites and bacteria and smells, which is basically bacteria farts. And they're just not very hospitable places in general. And that is unfortunately true of any and every duvet that has a feather or a man-made fibre in it. It just is, it's fact. And that's why we use them for a while and then we throw them away. Or if they're duvets, we put a cover on them. But again, the sweat goes through the cover into the duvet. The duvet doesn't get washed. You can't wash them in your regular machine. They're expensive to wash at a laundromat, and most of the time they're full of stuff that you can't wash anyway. So they just continue building up years and years of dust mites, carcasses, droppings, other things and what have you. So please, when you sleep on this under this for the first time, it's going to feel different, and it's weird. Do the Rob Lock test. Lie in bed, you cover yourself with your duvet, make a note of the time, and go, right. And you sit there, you get to temperature, and you go, oh, okay. You'll be there all night. In fact, you'll fall asleep. You'll fall asleep before you've realised that you haven't got too hot. And I tell you what, great for camping as well. And glamping, if you've got, I wouldn't take them on the mud or grass, but if you're in a tent,
Yeah.
one of the single one of these. Is
Talking about sweat, you're quite right to mention this. When I'm doing a live show, I would say 10% of all the people I speak to don't want one of my duvets. They're perfectly happy with the duvet they have in the bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? The other 90%, Rob, they all have the same complaint. They get too hot in bed.
Yeah, yeah.
They overheat and they sweat. They're waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, one leg dangling out the bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Duvet off, duvet on, duvet off, duvet on. Now they're awake when they should be asleep.
Right.
And the main reason, not the only reason, but the main reason they're awake, is that they're too hot in bed. Now, people who are bedbound, I have quite a bit of experience about this because my mother-in-law, before she died, was a very tiny lady, 93 years old, and for the last 2 years of her life, she was totally bedbound.
Wow.
And we used to go and visit her every day in hospital. The hospital was only 1 mile from our house, so one of our family would go up and visit her twice a day, no problem, right? People who are bedbound, she never moaned about anything apart from the fact that in hospital, they didn't allow duvets. They would only have sheets and blankets,
yeah.
and it made her sweat. Now, people who are bedbound get bed sores. And if you've ever seen bed sores, it's horrific. And the main cause of them is dampness and sweat within the bed. You're lying in your own sweat and you cannot move freely. So, silk wicks away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. Check that on a computer. Go into Google or Wikipedia. Check out if I'm making a false statement. I can assure you I'm not. 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. So people who are bedbound, this is a blessing. Any lady going through the menopause, where you have hot and cold sweats, a terrible time in your life, and it can go on for years, buy yourself a silk duvet. You'll find it's the best thing you've ever had to sleep under. It's guaranteed for 10 years, and it has a money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, you can have your cash back.
And I always recommend if you use Wikipedia, because obviously it is open source and anyone can contribute to it, make sure, because Wikipedia they're really careful about making sure that there are references to verify any claims made. So make sure you follow the references, and you can get all of the background, studies and what have you, all of this sort of thing. In the closing moments of the show, Ray, I know I've enthused. I've done my bit. So I'm going to sort of take a back seat a little bit. I just want, in the last half an hour, we've sort of kind of got wrapped up in the benefits of the side benefits of the duvets and the pillows and the mattresses. Let's go back to basics.
And the American election.
And the American elections, that's right. Let's go back to silk. Let's start from the beginning. Tell us all about this wondrous product line and why silk is a choice for everybody.
When we do live exhibitions or presentations, every single person that comes up to our stand, they touch this duvet, and the very first thing they say, this is very thin.
Yeah.
Are you certain this will keep me warm in the winter? And then, before I can answer, they then say, what TOG rating is it? Now, the answer to both of those questions is quite simple, Rob. Yeah. There is no TOG rating, official TOG rating, with silk.
Yeah, it's only man-made fibres.
The reason being, silk is a low conductor of heat. It retains heat in a different fashion to man-made fibers. So don't confuse bulk with warmth. Now this duvet is something, believe you me, very, very special. It's not an ordinary duvet, it's an extraordinary duvet. You can only buy it from 2 people in the United Kingdom, from myself at one of our exhibitions, or from ShopOnTV. And incidentally, ShopOnTV sell them at a price which is slightly lower than I sell them when I'm at a live exhibition.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the sensible place to buy them. They're machine washable. You can wash them a cold wash, 30 degrees, tumble dry and line dry. You can wash them as often as you want.
Now, how is it? Because some people have said that mulberry silk can't be washed, but it can, right? I mean, I know it can because
But I don't know why people
would say
that.
no.
Silk
nor do
is
I.
the second strongest
Yeah.
natural fiber in the world. You know, if you had in weight,
To be honest, I think it's one viewer who's
yeah.
allowed. And
Well, just to put that
think
viewer's mind at
Yeah,
ease.
yeah.
If you had a pound in weight, a pound of silk in your left hand, and a pound of steel in your right hand, the silk is stronger than the steel. That's hard to believe, isn't it? Silk has got amazing qualities. You know, they used to line bulletproof vests
yeah,
with
yeah.
silk. A bullet wouldn't go through it. So, you know, don't worry about silk being fragile. We estimate when you buy one of these,
Please don't try that at home, by the way.
no.
Don't go shooting guns.
we
at
estimate,
Oh, I've got a duvet on it. You can't
we
shoot me.
estimate when you buy one of these, it will last you the best part of your adult life.
Yes.
They're recommended by the United Kingdom Allergy Board. They're telling you here, in plain, simple language, that dust mites do not like silk. So it's healthy to sleep under. Now, this allergy certificate, to the best of my knowledge, and I know I'm correct, it's the only silk duvet currently being sold in the United Kingdom. It has this coveted certificate. This certificate is issued, see down here, for 1 year at a time. They do that because they're clever. They do that to make certain our standards don't drop. If our standards drop, they come into our premises unannounced. Just walk in off the street. And if our standards drop, this is taken away overnight. And that's a terrible black mark against our company.
Sure.
We have this certificate for Canada, USA, United Kingdom, Ireland, all of the EU countries, 27 of them, New Zealand and Australia. Now, the reason I mention this, I can assure you, what satisfies the authorities in America very often will not satisfy the authorities in New Zealand. But in this case, the quality of the product is so high, the manufacturing process is so precise and perfect, they can find no fault. Let me give you an example. The silk within the duvet, it has to be washed before it's inserted into the duvet. Now, we wash this in spring water, which has been filtered to make sure the water's pure, to make sure that the silk is in perfect condition before it's put into the duvet. So you are buying from a company who go the extra mile to give you something that's as close to perfection as you can possibly get, as close to perfection as you can possibly
And that's a window, as we were just showing on the screen there, that shows you this is full strand.
Yeah, and the reason why we do that, unfortunately, on the internet and also in some shops, there's a lot of fake silk being sold. What they do, they get cotton, polyester, they polish it so it looks like silk. And to the untrained eye, you can't tell the difference. They take a small quantity of silk, a large quantity of inferior fibers, mix the two together, put a silk label on it. They're allowed to do that by law in Britain. So you buy what you think is a silk duvet, but it only has a tiny quantity of silk in it. These are made by the official Mulberry Silk Company. Check the label on our duvet, all of our products, 100% pure AAA grade Mulberry silk, known as the king of silks within the silk industry. The best of the best.
Two ingredients, silk and cotton on the outside.
230 thread
And
count.
again, you know, they're not little offcuts of silk, because that's the other trick a lot of people do. They buy all the offcuts.
They buy the offcuts and they sometimes mix it with what's known as Tussa silk,
Yeah.
which is wild silk that grows in the forest.
You can say 100% silk, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean it's good silk.
This is cultivated silk. That's
Have you ever
the difference.
noticed there's a certain burger company that has for years, one of their slogans has been 100% beef, pure beef?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that means 100% pure beef means anything from the entire cow.
Yeah,
And that's, you're talking about lips and toenails, and
Yeah.
could be any part of it.
yeah.
So this is it
the
is
real
literally
McCoy.
the
To
finest
use an
silk.
old-fashioned name.
The real McCoy.
The real McCoy.
There is no better. If you had a barrel full of money or a suitcase full of money, and you went over to China, because that's the only place that silk comes from, right? And you said, or one of the main places anyway, and said, I want the best. I mean, like literally for the king. It would be AAA grade Mulberry silk.
Yes.
There is no finer.
Yeah.
That's what's in here. Never less. Never double A grade. Never any of, you know, if the AAA is not available, I will just bung a bit of AA in. You know, no, never. If the Mulberry, it's not a battery, it's not battery operated, so no. If there is a shortage, because let's face it, trees are seasonal, leaves are seasonal, there's a shortage of leaves to feed the worm.
When we run out of silk, of all the silk in the whole of the world, there's only 6% of it which is AAA grade.
Yeah.
Now, you're quite right, the tree only produces the leaf once a year.
Right.
So we constantly run out of AAA grade silk. And when we do, we stop manufacturing.
Yeah.
You can buy this in total confidence. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, just treat yourself. You're going to get something special at an affordable price with a money-back guarantee and, crucially, with tremendous after-sales service. If you phone our office, if you have a query of any description, if you phone our office, you're going to get a surprise. A human being will answer the telephone. It won't be a recorded message. Our job, when we have sold you this, is to keep you as a customer for the rest of your life. And we do that by manufacturing a high quality product at an affordable price, a proper guarantee, and good after sales service. You have nothing to lose by trying it.
You've everything to gain. It is.
No dust mites.
People have used the word transformative. It really was the first time I got my Mulberry silk. It's an experience. I mean, it's like losing your virginity. It is, but for sleep. It's like it's losing your sleep virginity. That's what it is. Because once you've it's true. Once you've slept, stop it. My sons are giggling over there. Once you've tried a Mulberry silk duvet, there's only one first time, and it's like, oh my goodness me, it does transform.
Well, you're quite right. What I mentioned earlier a few minutes ago at caravan shows, people take them, they sleep under them within the caravan or the motorhome for one night. Immediately, next morning, 30 to 35% of those people come back to buy a second one. They keep one in the caravan or the motorhome. The second one, incidentally, talking about caravans and motorhomes, because they fold up small, compact, when you put them in the bunk, it doesn't take up a whole bunk. It's not like big puffy sleeping bags. So it tucks neatly in a corner. So it's just another bonus of having silk as opposed to a big bulky heavy duvet.
By the way, a quarter of the people who bought the pillows bought the pillowcases as well. I mean, if you're going to go silk, go all out. That's what I say. I personally haven't bothered with the silk pillowcases. I do have one, and I did on one of my pillows, and they are lovely. They really are. I just, I'm just not that bothered, because whether it's the pillow itself that I kept, but they are very nice. And if you do want to go posh in your bedroom, then it's worth the extra £35 for the pillowcases.
It's not even Rob. It's not even a case of going posh. An awful lot of people take a pride in their appearance. They really do. And they want the skin to look good.
Yeah.
They want the hair to look good. You know, can I just mention something here, talking about the pillowcase? We haven't mentioned this. People who have got Afro-Caribbean hair, please buy or African hair, please buy yourself a silk pillowcase. I'm not going to go into it in great detail. Afro-Caribbean and African hair, you'll find breaks very easily. You'll find if you sleep on silk, it's so good for your hair. It's unbelievable.
Again, individual results will vary. We
Yes.
can't guarantee the results.
No, but it's just...
But try it anyway, you know. I mean, because you do, I think that type of hair, I have some experience with that. It's often wrapped in silk, isn't
Yes.
it? For that very
Well, very often you'll find a lot of hairdressers who specialize in Afro-Caribbean and African hair will advise the ladies to sleep on a silk wrap on her head.
Yeah, yeah.
They all, you know, they all do.
Yeah, and a silk pillowcase, what's the difference?
Saracen in the silk.
Yeah.
Good for the hair. You know, it makes it easier to style.
Yes, yes.
Simple.
Again,
And less breakage.
I only say it's not because we don't know that there are facts about Saracen and silk, that it's just that we are
governed.
say it on telly.
We are governed.
We are governed. We have to have studies and things that prove that this particular pillowcase does it, and we don't. But it is made of 100% pure silk. So what silk does, this should do. But all we can say is, doesn't it look lovely in the Arctic blue and the desert sand and the sage and the white? But that's why we would say do your own research about silk.
We always say that,
yeah. But there's no harm in us pointing out what people have said about silk, as long as you understand that we can't guarantee, even if it was 100% true anyway, that those exact things are
each person
our product.
should just do their own research, go into a search engine and just read what they say about silk.
Yeah, most definitely. Right, let's go. Sorry, Ray, I apologise. I have got Scottish, I do have Scottish blood, but I know because we're on STV and I don't do the Scottish. I think I'm an 8th, no, probably, I don't know, an 8th or a 16th Scottish. And I'm a Scot at heart. I love Scotland and I love Scottish people.
Oh, it's a nice place. I enjoy living there. I've lived in different countries throughout the world.
Same.
But Scotland's very nice.
It is very nice. I will retire to Edinburgh one day. Oh, sorry, midway between Edinburgh and Glasgow.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, exactly right.
Hold on a minute.
See, I can't get away. It's got to be midway. I can't choose. It's like I have to be the
To
pivot.
explain to people who don't know what Rob is referring to, people from Edinburgh think they're a little bit better than people from we Glaswegians, we know the truth.
Yeah.
We know.
Oh, it's such a fun place. It really is, I must say. I'm going to, once the weather gets a bit nicer, I'm going to pop up and I'll come say hi if you fancy going and having a beverage or five. Right, sorry, I've done it again. Right, I'll do Basil Fawlty instead. Let's go back to the pillow for the closing moments of the show, shall we? Yes.
Wow, the pillow, quite simply, is something everybody should have. How this pillow came about is quite simple. We've been dealing for 20 odd years with a TV company here in Britain, who unfortunately went out of business. How that happened is their business, I don't know. And we moved our business over to ShopOnTV. But before that happened, the buyer from that particular company we dealt with for 20 odd years, about 6 or 7 years ago, she came along to us. She said, you know, the public love your duvets. Could you make a pillow to the same high standards? Well, we did exactly that. We went back to our head office in Vancouver. We have people there who are very knowledgeable, experienced, and in my opinion, experts. And they went to work making a pillow. And this is what they made, this particular pillow. Now, they took their time. It took them about 2.5 years to get the pillow ready to be sold to the public. Now, at this point, I should mention, the people within the bedding industry reckon if all pillows were sold with a money-back guarantee, they're not, but if they were, the percentage that would be returned could be as high as 60 or 65%. Now keep that figure in mind. Rob, 60 or 65%.
I believe it.
When we started selling this pillow, through our efforts at exhibitions, flower shows, knitting shows, that type of thing, in the first 13 months, we sold 86,000 pillows. Now, we didn't get 60 or 65% returned. We got 19 individual pillows returned out of 65,000. 19 individual pillows, not 19%. Now, here's the reason why. This pillow I'm holding here, believe it or believe it not, this is the one I sleep on at home. I've slept on it for 5 years, roughly 7 or 8 hours every night. So that's roughly 15,000 hours this pillow's been slept on. The reason I have it with me here tonight, when I travel anywhere in the United Kingdom, I bring it with me, so when I go into the hotel at night, put my head on it, I get a really good night's sleep. This pillow has been washed, well, 3-4 times a year, every year for the last 5 years. When you wash it, it cannot and it will not lose shape. The reason being, the silk within the pillow is long fiber silk. It's not little pieces chopped up and thrown in a haphazard fashion. It's long fiber. The cotton is Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. Anything above 180 is considered to be luxury. So the outer cover is luxury. The filling within the outer cover is the best quality silk you can get. If you were to cut it open, tells you on the label, we're not trying to hoodwink anyone. In the middle, you have a little pocket of fiber. That's to give you support for your neck and your shoulders. But all the way around, you have this layer after layer after layer of luxury cotton. So that's really good. Your head won't get hot on it. It won't sweat, and dust mites don't like it. Dust mites won't go near silk. Silk is a protein, similar to your hair. You never see any dust mites in your hair. But
That's a good point,
it's a
actually.
fact. Dust mites won't go near silk. So, I sell this pillow on my website at £60 per pillow and £5 postage. Now, to use a modern phrase, I'm not ripping people off. That's the true value of this pillow. The buyers at this company, ShopOnTV, they're very good at their job. Very good indeed, I can assure you. They've bought these pillows at an advantageous price, and they've done something wonderful. They've passed the saving on to the viewer. You can now buy this pillow from ShopOnTV for £40, not £60, £40. And my advice to anyone is to buy it and try it. It has a 2-year warranty, 19 returned out of 86,000. Surely to goodness, that tells you something. Machine washable, wash it as often as you want. This one's 5 years old. Look at the condition of it. You know, absolute
Beautiful,
perfection.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Can I also say it's now been, I would say at least 2 hours that I've had this mulberry silk pillow on my lap, probably about 2.5 hours, and I haven't overheated. Neither my crotch nor the pillow has caught fire. It's just, and I feel really comfortable.
Rob, can I mention something else? Talking about overheating, you have it in your lap. You are sitting, and so am I. We're under maybe 50 to 60.
Yeah, a lot of light.
Powerful lights.
Yes, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
50 or 60 of them.
We'll show you if you like.
And if you put your hand in this duvet or the pillow,
look at all them lights.
It's cool. Now, one of our sales ploys, for want of a better word, when we're doing a live presentation, say at an agricultural show, say the Royal Cornwall show, take that as an example. The sun's boiling down, 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night. This is lying out in the sun. When a potential customer comes up and we say, this will keep you cool, we say, put your hand on it, and they touch it like this, maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been lying in the sun from 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
and their eyes pop out their head. They think, my goodness,
Yeah, yeah.
it feels cool.
I take our single goes all over the place. It's
Yeah.
great for picnics.
Yeah.
You know, and I take my mulberry silk with me wherever I go, because once you've experienced it, just the one on the sofa, it'll pay for itself in the energy savings, I believe. It really, really, really will. Also great to wrap up with a loved one. Maybe
Yeah.
if you're courting, if you've engaged upon in a dalliance with somebody, then wedding gift, people who've already had their dalliance and they've gone to the next level. A few new houses, student accommodations. No more will you have to risk life and limb with a gas fire.
A while
Use one
back,
of the duvets instead.
Rob, while talking about students, a while back, a lady came up to me a few years ago. She said, I've just come to buy a single duvet. And I started to tell her all the advantages. She said, stop. She said, I've had one for 32 years. She said, I'm buying this for my son.
Yeah.
He's sharing a flat. He's going to university. He's sharing a flat with 2 other kids. And I wanted to give him a really good duvet to sleep under. She bought him a duvet and a pillow. And she said, it's the best duvet ever. And she had hers for 32 years.
It's amazing to think, based on that people at home right now, they could have literally a baby sleeping in a cot next door. And as soon as that baby is old enough to sleep in a bed, which is usually at what, 2 or 3? Is that sometimes?
Yeah.
About 3. So from 3, that they will be in their 30s and still potentially using, and beyond, and still using.
And the reason for that is quite simple. One word: quality.
Quality.
Rob,
to last.
Nothing, absolutely nothing beats quality. Quality wins every time.
But Ray, you've missed. I'm sorry, your business model is flawed. These days, it's all about built-in obsolescence, charging an absolute fortune for something, and then making sure it breaks down 2 years later, so you have to buy a new one.
A lot of companies have that sort of outlook in life. Our company, we started a tiny little company in Vancouver 36 years ago. Now we export all over the world. And that has been, it's quite an achievement, actually. Without being boastful, it's quite an achievement.
Yeah.
And it's been achieved by simply giving good service, quality product, and treating the customer with respect.
Well,
simple.
Dare I say, and if I may, the fact, Ray, that although you're still a very spry man, that at your
Careful, Rob. I'm from Glasgow.
I know. I'm being very careful. At your somewhat advanced years, that you still sit in a car, as Ray did today, for 7 hours to come down from Glasgow to be here for the show, and then work until 3 in the morning, and then he and his son are driving back to Glasgow. Or are you staying over tonight?
We're staying over.
Staying over tonight, yeah. I mean, that, to me, because it's your company.
Well, I enjoy work.
You know, I know your sons have taken over a lot of the day-to-day, but to come here and have the respect
They
for
bring me out, they dust me down.
They do, exactly, that's right. Yeah. They won't give you a quick wind-up, you know, and off you go.
Yeah.
But I think that's a true mark of
Plus
respect.
the fact, I'm not giving you toffee when I say this.
No.
But when I come here, it's a nice, pleasurable place. Everybody's so nice and helpful and friendly. No problem.
Yeah.
And I used to live in London, and I love London. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. You know, it really is. It's just a nice place.
Can I just say the boring business part, or the, what do you call it, the admin part, I suppose. Please check out your baskets. If you think putting this in your basket reserves the product for you, it does not. It purely is there for the convenience of your checking out. I am sorry that we sold out of the Super King. We had a couple, but they sold out before we even went live. They'll be back mid-May. The single is about to sell out. If you want the single, you must check out now. There possibly will be a handful left, and in fact, Sunday night into Monday morning, we have a late start, so it's just going to be me. And we'll bring back what's left of the mulberry silk, and it'll be for those people watching then. If you've never slept with mulberry silk, you've just got to do it. I mean, you don't have to. Look, sleep is not a luxury. You spend it on average, a third of your life in bed. And the stupid thing is, as I realised myself, I spent £2,500 on a television, and I cheapskated and bought a £500 mattress. I'm still watching my TV, but my mattress has seen better days. You know, why do we sacrifice the things we do when we're awake? We spend a lot of money on our enjoyment and comfort when we're awake, and yet the one place we spend the rest of our lives, we shortchange ourselves. It's madness. And again, if you have not had a Mulberry Silk pillow, if you've slept on or sleep on a hollow fibre pillow or any kind of pillow with any type of feather in it, you haven't experienced what it's like to have a really great pillow like this. If you have the same with your duvet, if it's man-made fibre or any kind of a feather inside of it, you just have not experienced what it is like to sleep under silk. And silk particularly, it is really the king of natural fibres, and it is transformative. You'll wrap yourself in your duvet for the first time, and it's like, as I say, it will exceed your expectations because you'll expect it to get too hot, and it just won't. And you could put this around you in literally freezing cold weather, and within minutes you're warm. And yes, because Arctic clothing, it's filled with silk. Silk is designed to protect the silk worm as it transforms into a moth. That's what the cocoon is. You know, the silk is the cocoon. It's the strands of fibre. It sustains in China, where they have all kinds of different weathers and wet temperature, rain, wind, etc. Humidity, yes, yeah.
Damp humidity.
Yeah.
You know, wicks away the moisture. Again, I just mentioned it. Finally, any lady going through the menopause, please buy yourself one. You'll bless the day you bought it. You really will.
And somebody, it was just an email. Oh, from Abby. She says, good morning, and she just saw me on FBI International. Yes, I was on FBI International. The episode that just aired, I think, because it's a bit ahead of the States. She would like to know how to wash your Mulberry Silk pillowcases. We've got about a minute left, or 40 seconds, very quickly.
Well, Abby, to be perfectly honest with you, you can wash them a cold wash in the machine, 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry. How my wife washes them, and this is the best way to wash them, you are buying a really high quality product, so take a little bit extra time to wash it. Wash it in lukewarm water by hand. Take a large bath towel, place it on something
20
flat,
seconds, Ray.
place the pillowcase in it, fold the towel over, press it down, dry it in a towel, and iron it afterwards. That's the best way.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It is always wonderful to have you. I will see you again soon.
Okay.
Thank you to you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.